figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe, and I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground so we can fly again, so we can fly again. I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground so we can fly again, so we can fly again. So we can
light do decay more slowly than stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature.
on your feet. Stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now, get the body till we black out. So get the fuck up.
had the chance to run, leave behind the said and done, figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow doubt, and I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now, and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me. Oh.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you,
Evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport here for Season 7. And what a season it poses to be this year. An absolutely packed field of immense talent that we have on the grid. I'm Mathew Duffin, once again joined back with my lovely partner in crime, Dan Davis. Dan, how are you? Stressed, but we're getting there.
I would just want to say one Anyway, how are you doing, man?
I'm very good, yourself. And before we get on to that, as well, apologies for the race director point of view. Virgin Media having internet problems now, which is why Grid isn't on the grid, and it is why you're not getting the broadcast from my point of view. We are having to use Dan's stream, so we do apologise for that one. As I'm trying to sort everything out, apologies, Emplava. I'm trying to sort everything out my end to get back in the lobby. I'm in now. But Dan, I'm very well. Yourself?
I'm doing very well. Very excited to actually get back on track this season. It's going to be an interesting season. But first things first, I feel like we're in Florida right now.
It does feel like we're in Florida right now, and there's no hurricane here in Oscherslaben, as I'm told it's pronounced. But we are in very, very wet, tricky conditions, Dan. And before we get into the tricky conditions and how the track is,
you see a lot of cars getting congested into that corner, but opportunities to also gain places in the... Our beautiful Simplay Motorsport will be back to bring you all the action and all the track maps of this new season. And back
in just a moment when it is decided.
Thank you very much, guys. It is Arnold Stubbs, aka Dan Davis, here to bring you a lap of the first round of the Simplay Season 7 here at Oscherslaben in Germany for the first round of the championship. And our beautiful Simplay Motorsport will take us a lap around this circuit. As we head towards turn 1, it's all about hitting that braking zone at the 150-meter board, making sure we get that car stopped and turned in onto a left 90-degree turn, into a right 90-degree turn, which then leads us all the way around and come back on ourselves to head towards turn 2. This is where a lot of opportunities are going to be given to drivers at the start of the race. As you see, a lot of cars getting congested into that corner, but opportunities to also gain places in the race to overtake, as our Simplay Motorsport does so on the inside of the Mercedes SLS. But also, it's got to make sure it has good traction out of turn 2, because it could get undercut by the car behind. As once again, you see from the outside, the Acura getting it stopped just within track limits. As you then lead out of turn 2, we then head towards turn 3, another overtaking opportunity here. And again, a weird corner. You can double apex this corner, but it is also very easy to run wide, as the Acura does so there. but also it's a very, very good place to kind of catch people out. As the Acura goes down the inside into turn 3, the Porsche comes back underneath and gets the switchback on the Acura. So opportunity for guys to not just obviously lose position, but they can regain that position back. With a slight kind of bank to the corner, you can take it many different lines, which then leads us to the next corner, turn 4, which is known as the triple. Don't take too much track limits, making sure you stay even on the white lines, as the stewards will be maintaining and keeping an eye on the track limits. A very easy corner to run wide and make a mistake. But as you can see there, the Acura planted through that section as he goes through 4, 5 and 6 into 7. And a tricky corner just to be easing on the power as he heads into 8, 9 and 10. The chicane of McDonald's, and making sure the car stays with track limits again. Stewards will be making sure that they stay on the curb within the white line. Heading towards the right-hander, another overtaking opportunity where the Acura could send it down the inside and get the job done on the Mercedes, but it's all about getting that great run out of McDonald's. As you can see here, he looks down the inside. The Mercedes thinks about covering, but it's too late. The Acura is down the inside, but it's also making sure he has a great run through the left-hander as the car can bottom out and lose traction, which then leads us into the penultimate and final corner. And the final corner really is the last opportunity to gain a position, but is also where on the circuit you can lose a lot of time. Even though you've produced the best lap of your session, you can lose it all just by taking a little bit too much curb, a little bit too much grass. As you can see here, the Acura sending it down the inside and getting the job done on the Porsche 911 to then take the advantage. But you will get caught out by the slipstream down the back straight. Here are your race records set by Overtaker and Fury, your quali record and your race record, a 126.4 and a 127.5. Those are the lap times you want to be looking out for this evening. Previous winners are Little Leach, Fury and One Off Dub 16. So those guys will be looking strong here tonight. But that is a lap here of Oscherslaben A, the first round of the season, and our beautiful Simplay Acura will be back to bring you all the action and all the track maps of this new season. And back to the guys in the comms.
And thank you very much, Dan. We are back now in the commentary box, and that was a fantastic bit of work from yourself then. And as we head in, you can see here another new feature for this season, a lovely little graphic brought up on your screen now of Oscherslaben, the A course, if you will. The track information, 3.696 kilometres or 2.297 miles for those who do it the opposite way around. Elevation change of only 23 metres from its highest point to its lowest point, so not much in terms of elevation. That is 75 feet. Not a lot in terms of what we will see coming up later in the season. The track opened in 1997. It's an FIA Grade 2 circuit. It's got 14 corners and it is a clockwise circuit. And I do believe it is actually 7 corners to the left and 7 to the right. So very equally split. As Dan said there a moment ago, the Pro Quali record, a 126.425 by the Overtaker, and the Pro Race record, a 127.558 by Fury in the Mercedes. But we're not bothered about them. We're only bothered about the Pro-Ams, because that's what we're here for tonight. 128.320 from Argent and a 129.145 from Little Leach. Last season, your defending Pro-Am champion. And the bonus here is that's probably not going to be beaten, so they will stay with that one. Multiple drivers have race pole positions to their name. That is one driver apiece. One pole position apiece, sorry, for multiple drivers. And for Fury, Little Leach, and our man in the commentary box himself on Orthodubs, it is 2 wins apiece to their name. And that, Dan, is the facts of Oscherslaben.
It is indeed, and what a circuit we are starting off here this evening. One of my favourites for sure, and it's definitely a circuit that a lot of these guys don't actually drive or test. But more importantly, Matt, we'll get back to the track later on. Let's talk about the new season. Let's talk about new drivers, new teams, new lineups, and more importantly, there has been a bombarding of 2 particular cars this season, not just in Pro, but also in Pro-Am. And we are looking at one of them. It's a returning face. It is the Porsche 911 is back. And it wasn't here last season. It is returning back on the grid. Not just here, but I believe in the Pro as well. Or am I wrong in
I don't think there is any in the Pro. Not that I can remember, but there is in the Pro-Am.
Pro-Am is coming back with Storm, with the likes of Welshie and Stel Sloth finally ditching the Lamborghini, and the MC Motorsport boys have gone Porsche.
And that's a very interesting decision for them boys, because the Porsche, Welshie driven the Porsche, as did Stel Sloth earlier in the season, earlier in Simplay Motorsport's history, if you remember rightly. And it wasn't a favoured car for these two, but they're back in it, the MC Motorsport crew, and they're staying together for yet another season. And as well as them two, Dan, in the Porsche, we've got the young Welsh in the Porsche as well, of Keegs and Rabbit Joe, not yet out on the circuit, but in the old green and black. And if Sutsy Apex is watching, he'll remember them colours back from an old previous league. Them two are in the Porsche as Simplay Racing. What a lineup that is, Dan, of Lucas Roth and Rabbit Joe.
Oh, definitely so, and we know what Keegs can do, as he was my teammate in F2, and we both went on to take the Constructors title at Carlin. So Keegs in the Porsche 911, in these conditions as well, the Porsche will look favoured around here.
It will indeed. And then, Dan, we head to the next Porsche. Talk us through it.
Well, the new Porsche is going to be the more interesting one. These guys are going to be the hot favourites. The two drivers dropping down from Pro into Pro-Am. They go. It is Monkey Boy and KLF. And KLF returning back to the Porsche. And I believe this is Monkey Boy's first attempt
First
in the
time,
Porsche.
yep.
So these guys are returning in Pro-Am this time, but in the blue and orange and white Porsche 911s. And I believe they are called Audio Sport 2 Old Pro Drivers or something.
Yeah, Audio Sport and 2 Old Pros is what they are called.
And what a pairing these could be. What a pairing these could be, though, because KLF has got experience in his Porsche, and he feels like he has driven it. He has got back to driving how he used to drive, possibly even better in this car.
And Monkey Boy, the Season 2 Pro-Am champion, so knows the pedigree of what it takes to win at this level, Dan. And a lot of drivers in this division. Rabbit Joe, Pro-Am champion. Argent, multiple Constructors winner champion, as is now Smithy. KLF, multiple runner-up in Pro-Am. Bozzy Boy challenged Monkey Boy for race wins in Season 2. A lot of drivers in this season. Speaking of Bozzy Boy, the next hot favourite car in the Pro-Am is a returning favourite, and it is the Season 5 championship winning car. It is that of the Acura, and the Acura that is Bozzy Boy and Dean Wasocki, uncle and nephew, Wakasaki Racing, in a purple and green livery, beautifully done, and the Acura, Dan, back on track.
I'll tell you what, Liam's making it work at the minute. We've been doing a lot of practice, and Liam's actually been quite off the pace, but here tonight, in these wet conditions, he's straight on it. One of the most stable cars here on Project Cars, and people really do put this car down, but in the right hands, it can be a championship winning car, aka Smithy and Mathew, both taking it to a Constructors and a Drivers' Championship. So this car can do it. So we've got a returning champion car. We haven't got the Mercedes returning this season in Pro-Am, but what we do have is the Ginetta returning once again.
The Ginetta once again. We'll get back to the other car in a moment, but this team have stayed from last year and have stayed in the same car. DJ Phil and Ukbar, Terminal Velocity Racing, are a team that you need to watch, because Ukbar is very quick, and is this his year to really stamp his authority?
I think it could be possibly his year. Can he finally get himself up into Pro, at least into the top 3, so he can finally get himself into the Pro division and give it a good shot? That is the question. We will now move on to the other Acura. One of them missing tonight of Arjo, but the other one returning. Smithy is back in the Old Faithful. Can he get another Constructors title back in his car?
Yep, the SFA Acura Racing Team are the two to watch out for, of Argent and Smithy. That is a lineup that has 5 Constructors Championships in Pro-Am to its name. This could be an absolute treat to watch.
Definitely so, but with all the rumours that have been going around this season, all the rumours that's been happening, there is one team that will be hot favourites here this evening.
Well, let's get to them in just a moment. Let's go to the Audi of Leon Fernie and Max Mulder before we go to that team, because the last team, I want to talk about them last because of the hype that's been around these boys. But Max Mulder and Leon Fernie, SRL Racing Team, Dan, returning in the Audi, and Max drops down as well, and we've seen what he can do in Pro-Am before. What can he do it this season?
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's a little bit more daunting when he was in the Pro. He really had to stick it in with the big boys. Now he's back in Pro-Am. He can probably learn the ways of racing with these guys again and get back to the flow of running that Audi again. But it's going to be an interesting season for Max. He really will have to use this season to get himself back on his feet and kind of stomp his authority in Pro-Am.
Indeed it is. And Dan, talk us through this last team. A lot of hype around this last team, and a lot of things that these boys could potentially do. And this man in particular, Dan, there is a lot of discussions about him being a champion.
Well, he's got his rookie season out of the way. Last season, Shane joining in right at the midpoint of the season, stepping in with Bryn after Bryn lost his teammate of Sharon last season. But Bryn and Shane return. They're in the Ferrari this time, not the Audi. And these two have been looking so good in testing. In the dry, in the wet, and on any circuit, they've always been up there, especially around the times of the pro lads, especially Shane. And the more and more he drives, the better and better he gets. Even the end of last season, he just improved more and more.
Indeed he did, and what a time for Shane to really be stepping into a different car and learning something a little different and being able to take that with him. If you want to see what the cars are, they've just appeared now on your screen. That is your Season 7 confirmed lineup then. Argent Smithy of the SFA Acora Racing, Lucas Roth and Rabbit Joe Simplay Racing, Bryn and Shane the Super Crash Bros with Dean and Bozzy Boy in the Wakasaki Racing Machinery, Terminal Velocity Racing of Ukbar and Welshie, Slough and Welshie, sorry, of Ukbar and DJ Phil, Welshie and Slough in the MC Motorsport vehicle, and KLF and Monkey Boy, the Porsche Audio Sport and 2.0 Pros, Max Mulder and Leon Fernie, SRL race team, and that then is your confirmed pro lineup for next season. Pro-Am lineup for this season.
Next season, we've already picked the tracks for next season, but we'll get to that at some point. But no, this is going to be an interesting season, man. Not just obviously for the pro, but for the Pro-Am as well. It's going to be a mad season. The pro, obviously, we've been hyping up because it is meant to be the best of the best. But still, these boys have got it all to do first. They've got horrible conditions to start the season with.
Absolutely horrendous conditions here in Oscherslaben, then in Germany, and it just. We've seen this a couple of seasons ago when me and I believe it was Kelly at the time brought to you Oscherslaben in the pro. Dan yourself was in them conditions and was watching and was struggling. Andy and Gary tried to change to the slicks as it tried to dry out. But this, as it's getting colder, Dan, we're at the back of September. Let's not forget we're in October next week. Track conditions are getting cooler. Temperatures are getting cooler. This looks set for majority of the evening. These drivers have got a very difficult task.
The other thing as well, we're going on board with Welshie and just trying to give you an idea of the puddles around here. The thing with Oscherslaben, there goes Welshie around. The puddles around here are lethal. They are in little cracks and nunnies all around the circuit, so you do have to keep an eye on that. I think the best car for this will be the Porsche 911, but also the Acora could be a good car to keep an eye on, because the Acora is very good at keeping its traction. It's a very good chassis car. Not a lot of power in it, but that's what gives its benefit around the circuit. So that's why also Dean and Liam are already up the top of the tables with Max and KLF as well. So all these guys are ones to keep an eye out for this season, especially for tonight anyway.
They really are then, Dan, and apologies if you keep seeing me leaving and disconnecting. This is the same reason why Bryn isn't in the lobby tonight. We are having some Virgin Internet problems, and it's causing us to our servers to not run properly. So I tell you what I'm going to do, Dan, I don't know if you'll be able to do it, is share your screen if possible. That might be the easiest way here.
Okay, I can attempt.
So we're just going to pop to a quick little break, and we'll be back in a...
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. all in when I
Apologies about that one. We hopefully should be with you now live, and we hopefully should be back and ready to go. Apologies about the internet interruptions here. We hope to have these sorted as soon as possible. Virgin or Sony, whichever one it is, need to sort this out and get this ready to go, as this could affect not only my season, but it could also affect multiple streams over the next couple of weeks. And we hope this will be sorted by next week to bring you a better broadcast as well. But Dan, we're coming in towards the end of practice session, and just talk us through the order while I try to get back in.
Well, currently top of the table at the minute is the Audi of Max Mulder. He'd obviously set that lap time earlier on, and he is at the top of the session. But not too far behind him, only 2/10 behind is the Cora of that Buzzy Boy. Looking good at the minute at this stage of practice. But KLF, once again, back in that Porsche 911, back at the top of the table. He's currently P3 at the minute, with Dean currently P4 and the other Cora. Shane currently P5 and in the pits, making sure his Ferrari stays dry. And in P6 at the minute is Ukbar, the Flying Dutchman, slowly working his way up the order. Monkey Boy currently in P7 with Welshie in P8. P9 at the minute is Smithy in the Acora, with DJ Phil in the Janetta currently down in P10, with Lucas Roth currently in 11th place position. And bringing up the rear is Stealth Sloth in 12th. And that puddle is looking massive now into that second corner.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that now on the stream. I'm a bit behind you while I try and get back in the lobby. That does look an absolute mess at turn 2. Where was the other bad one? I believe it was the triple, wasn't it? Where it's the other bad puddle.
I think it's everywhere, to be fair. Absolutely everywhere. I just vaguely remember Andy hunting me down lap for lap after lap and just avoiding puddles like the plague. So it's definitely a circuit that is bad enough trying to do it in the dry, let alone doing it in the wet.
It is indeed then. So coming towards the end of the practice session, and as I've just read Disco's comment, has anybody actually seen Liam or the Stig in the same place before? Says Disco in the chat. The poll has just ended for who you think will win the Season 7 Championship, and no one else said anything in the chat, but the votes went the majority of the way for Shane, Dan, and really in practice testing, that is not a surprise.
Yeah, definitely not, but also that's a lot of practice on his shoulders now. Majority of the people thinking he's going to win the season, and he's even got myself, Jamie Brazier, and also Matt as well, all think he's going to take this title. But he ain't going to have it easy, let's be honest. There are going to be drivers out there that's going to give him a headache, and Max, that Buzzy Boy, KLF, even Dean at this minute are all looking very good, but you don't know what Ukbar's going to do either. So Monkey Boy as well. There's so many drivers on this grid that could win this title this year.
As Rabbit Joe when he gets back, and if Welsh gets up to speed, if Keegs gets up to speed, what can Bryn do when he's in the car? You've got Argent when Argent's back, and all it takes is one bad race for these boys who's missing tonight to really bounce back. In terms of tonight, Dan, 2 drivers would have been on their 100th appearance. One of them sadly cannot be here. The other one is that Buzzy Boy, and he's really, it was really, why was that well timed?
Because I changed onto him as soon as she said it.
There we go then. That Buzzy Boy on his 100th appearance then for tonight's race. No one else at a milestone tonight, and no one else at a milestone other than if a Porsche gets 2 race wins here, that will be its 50th race win here at Simplay Motorsport.
And I believe so as well. If Kelly gets a win here as well, he'll match then most wins around this circuit with Little H Fury and myself. If he gets 2 wins, he'll be the most successful round here.
Indeed he will be, yes.
So
because Argent isn't here to do that.
Monkey Boy, no!
If Ukbar wins both, Ukbar will be the tied most successful until tomorrow night.
We got a disconnection, and Monkey Boy has come out of the pit and sped. He has sped in the pit lane and he's left the session. So that's
Are we in qualifying?
We are in qualifying, and a lot of these boys have been practicing in practice, where on Project Cars, for people who obviously don't know much of this game, when you're in practice, you can just join a practice session and not have the pit limiter on. If you're in qualifying and you don't have the pit limiter on, it will give you an instant penalty straight away. So Monkey Boy has got a penalty, and he's somehow disappeared from the session. So maybe he should be able to get back in, but at this minute, he will have a one-place grid penalty even if he does join back in.
And of course, he's got to get in before the 2-minute warning because of the problems we've been having, PlayStation Network-wise and other things. He cannot wait until the very end. He's got to get in 2 minutes before the session ends. Otherwise, that will be him done for this one. So hopefully he gets back in to this session then, as I should now be trying to get back in. And it is loading up, and we might finally be able to do something. Yes!
Yes.
Right, so looking at my monitor now, no one set a lap time. And Dan, in these conditions, early lap times are essential. Everybody needs to be out there on track. Who's currently the lead driver out there?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out is DJ Phil, who's going to be the first man to set a lap time. Oh, Monkey Boy's been disqualified. That's what's happened. So he is in the session, but he can't qualify. Good start, Monkey Boy.
That is a great start to his season then, and he's going to put the Porsche on the back foot already by the back of the grid. That will be a P13 for him then.
Here's your running order for starting the line. It will be DJ Phil will start the first lap here. Then it's KLF right behind him. Ukbar, it will be behind him as well. Then we got a Porsche 911 of Welshie with Max breathing down his neck, with Shane not too far behind as well. Lucas Roth then comes up behind him, with also Stel Sloth not too far behind him. And I think bringing up the rear of this is that Bozzy Boy and Dean. No, Dean's just exiting the final corner. Who's just ahead of him? It is the other Acora of Smithy. As Monkey Boy's left the session, he should be able to get back in. He's just being disqualified from qualifying, I think, so he should be okay.
Yeah, he should be fine. Smithy, Dean, Stelsloff are all in the pits on my end, so I don't know what that's all about, but brilliant. Either way, we're going to bring you as best a broadcast as we can, chat. I honestly say Dan may have to take most of this work tonight, but we are going to bring you as best a broadcast as we can. I believe there's only 12 drivers, apologies, because Rabbit Joe is at university on Freshers Week, Kieran Argent is on holiday, and we don't know where Leon Fernie is. That's a great start to his campaign.
Yeah, that's 12. We should have 16, so we're missing one other driver as well. So who is that we're missing? I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. Monkey Boy will get back in. That's only 3.
Yeah, no, Monkey Boy makes 12 drivers, and then we are missing Leon, Leon, Bryn, Argent,
Bryn.
And yeah, because obviously Bryn's having the same problems that I'm having, except I'm able to stay in a little longer than what Bryn seems to be able to.
But DJ Phil across the line to set the benchmark, and here he is at 1:38.2. But I think KLF will beat that. He crosses the line at 35.4. Ukbar goes at 36.0, so that's a flyer from there from Kelly. Where is Max though? He goes faster, 35.0, and Shane crosses the line at 37. So Shane's up there with them. Welshie crosses the line, he's only P6, he's got damage from his time. Lucas Roth goes ahead of his dad. Where is Dean? That Bozzy Boy's been disconnected, so hopefully he should be able to get back in. Monkey Boy's coming out. But that is your order so far. It's Max on the front row with KLF.
Monkey Boy's coming out, so that's interesting then.
He's managed to avoid that. He's managed to avoid getting a penalty, but he's able to get back in and get back on track.
Yeah, I can see on the order he has got a grid penalty to his name, as we hopefully get Bozzy Boy back in as well. And again, we can only apologise for the PlayStation services or Virgin Media, whatever is happening, to sort this out.
Monkey's got a 2-place grid penalty, so even if he puts on pole position, he will be starting 3rd. So
yeah,
not a good start for Monkey season already.
No, not a good start for his season already, and away we go. And hopefully we can get back into this one and try and get it done.
Dean's still not yet set a lap time. He's now coming in the final corner, but like all the best lap times are going to be at the start of the session. It's just going to get wetter and wetter. Your second lap might be a bit better as well. Dean, still no lap time, so not looking good for Dean so far.
Yeah, and when you need to get an early qualifying session in because of the fact that the track conditions are going to get worse and worse and worse, you really need to be out there. Stelsloff back in the pits, it says on your screen. It's saying that him, Smithy, Dean and Monkey Boy are all in the pits on mine, so I'm kind of just going off what you're telling me at the moment, or what I can see on your screen at the minute then as drivers come into the line. Here comes Shane, who's currently P3. No time gained there, and you really have to say that this final 5 minutes, it's more getting used to the conditions than pumping in a better lap time, unless you're Welshie.
Welshie, he does improve his lap time as Lucas Rock comes towards the line now, and there's no improvement from him. So at the minute, he's still ahead of his dad. I think it was Smithy coming towards the final few corners. It is Monkey Boy as well, but he is on an out lap as it is. So Smithy is now the next car to come across the line in the Acora. Currently P7 at the minute. Does he improve? No.
No improvement for Smithy then, as he will hope to go again. Stovsloff still sat in the pit lane, and as he gave that up as a bad job at the moment. And Dean Wysocki, no lap time for him. And he's a man, Dan, who the last couple of nights has surprised us a little bit with his pace, but we haven't seen much wet running from these Pro-Am drivers, so I suppose pace is going to be a difficult thing, as Kelly looked like he was a little slow through the triple there. Max has pulled it back into the pits, and is Max going to get his season off with the first point, do we reckon?
Is he going to get the first pole position of the season? That's the question. KLF, I think the problem is now, is before he gets too wet, you want to be out there, because you could have made a mistake allowing a car through. Who is he allowing through? It's Shane he's allowing through. So your first lap might have been a mistake. You might have been able to just get a clean lap in, just a nice tidy lap. Not have to be fast, just a tidy lap. No slides, no mistakes, and it might be fast, it might be quickest. This is the thing about the wet conditions. It's not all about speed, it's all about consistently keeping it smooth and clean all the way through the lap.
Smooth and clean all the way through the lap is the thing to do, and the way to go about it. And Shane comes through the final corner. Obviously, you guys are going to see this before I'm commentating. I'm a little bit behind. And as Shane comes down to the line now,
no improvement.
He doesn't improve now.
As Welshie now also coming towards line. KLF starting another lap. He obviously allowed Shane to go through. Welshie, no improvement. So all these guys now just getting to a point where they got to start tidying up. They got to start making a few tweaks and changes. Shane's made a mistake and he's gone round. I can't see the car in the final corner. That is Monkey Boy. He's finally got a lap time on the board. Where's he going to put him? He'll go P7 as it stands.
So P7, not bad. Yeah, not bad for Monkey Boy to only lose to 2 places, but obviously Bozzy Boy's got to get himself a time on the board as well, hasn't he?
He has indeed. Liam is currently out on track as well, so keep an eye on him to see where he puts himself. But DJ Phil towards 9, no improvement. And I think now it's literally all about who can make the best of these conditions. At the minute, KLF is in the middle sector. He just needs to put a clean lap together. There's 2 cars coming to the final sector. One of them is Lucas Roth, and the other one sounds like an Acura. It's a Ginetta of Ukbar. No improvement for those 2 as it stands, and I believe Dean is exiting the final corner as well. Has he found any more time? No, he hasn't. He's close to his time, though, but he has not improved.
Not improved on his time then. So Dean Wysocki down in P5 at the minute, or up into P5 after he's set a lap time. Just that Bozzy Boy to get a time on the board then, as Welshie now will be looking to do a bit of work here. And for Welshie, what can he do?
Oh, Liam with a big slide out of the final corner. He comes towards the line now. Has he got himself up in a decent position? He's on an out lap, so Liam will have to go for it. Kelly was on a decent lap by the looks of things. Towards line he comes. No improvement. So he's actually 3.5 off.
Shane's in the pits, Dan. He's obviously done for the session. Cannot improve from there. He's clearly done. Kelly gets one more chance at this. Everybody coming round now will get another shot at this lap. You'd imagine, bar the drivers going through turn 2. Going through turn 2 and turn 3 now. They'll be the drivers that probably won't get another lap. Those coming on the back straight might just squeeze another one in, as here comes Monkey Boy, and no improvement from him.
Anybody who's at McDonald's right now, which is the horrible chicane and right-hander, might be able to squeeze a lap in. Whoever's after that, I don't think will get a lap in. DJ Phil now towards line. Any improvement? No, 7/10 off. So KLF and Shane are done. Dean Wysocki coming into the final sector. He's currently up on his time at the minute, but not by much. Ukbar towards the line himself. Is he going to improve and get himself between Shane and Kelly? Because they can't fight now.
They can't fight now. Shane and Kelly both into the pits. So they are both done. Ukbar, can he split them? No, he can't. What about the car behind him? That is Lucas Roth. He can't improve on his P9 at the moment. What about Dean Wysocki? He's the next car to cross the line. Any improvement on his time? He does improve a slight bit. Stays P5 though. That Bozzy Boy running out of time, and he might not get a final run in here. Who's the next car to the line? It is Stovsloff. Any improvement for him? No, as Smithy returns to the pits, as does Max. Here comes Bozzy Boy. He's going to get to the line just before the timer, just as the timer runs out, Dan. And what is his lap time going to be? He goes P4. What an excellent lap from that Bozzy Boy then. At the very end, one shot wonder, wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, definitely so. And as well, she now exits the final corner in his Porsche 911. Can he get ahead of Monkey Boy to make Monkey Boy's headaches worse? He does improve. He was a 10th off at the end by Monkey Boy, but it wasn't enough. We are on board now with Monkey Boy, who exits the final corner in that lovely and blue and white Porsche. Towards the line he comes. He's currently P8. We'll start P10 at the minute. He goes P7.
So goes P7, so drops himself, gains himself up to P9 on the grid. So that'll promote Welshie, not Lucas Roth now, as drivers coming to the end of their lap. People starting to pit, and what a qualifying that's been. DJ Phil, and I do believe someone else out there on a lap time at the moment.
Welshie, I believe, and Lucas Roth. So DJ Phil to a slide, no improvement. Welshie is done. It's Lucas Roth on his final lap here. He's currently P10. He's a little bit wobbly into the penultimate corner. He's a little bit slow on the final corner. Can he just nail it out the corner? Towards the line he comes. Any improvement here for Keegs? We'll find out in a moment's time. But it is Max who is on pole position here.
Talk us through the grid, Dan.
It is Max Mulder who takes the first point of the season. He is on pole position and he runs alongside on the front row with KLF 900. He has quite a successful record here. Does Kelly keep an eye on him going into turn 1? Shane, with the first debut in the Ferrari, is doing a very good job in P3 with that Bozzy Boy. That one lap managed to put him into P4. Ukbar will start P5. Dean Wasaki will start 6th. Monkey Boy will start in 7th, and 8th will be DJ Phil. In 9th will be Welshie. In 10th will be his son, Lucas Roth, of aka Keegs. That's going to be an interesting 5th row between father and son. 11th is Smithy. 12th is Stelsloff, and that is your order. But obviously, a reminder, Monkey Boy will go down 2 orders. So actually, he will start 9th, and Welshie will move up to 8th, and DJ Phil up to 6th.
Indeed, he will then, Dan, and that's the first point for Max Mulder, and that's the opening point of the season. So he technically leads the championship. 648 drivers' championship points to play for, and 1,128 constructors' points to play for. That is what these drivers are going for today, and we will see if these drivers can get this job done and get across the line to win and take glory. Max looking for another race win. How many does he have here? He has 4, all from Pro-Am before he got moved into Pro last season. So can he take that 4th win? For the Audi, it'll be a 15th Pro-Am win if he can do that, as well as a bit more of a result at the end as well. Now, I am back in the session, but there is Self-Sloth, Kelly, no, Monkey Boy, one of the Acoras, and Smithy, all ghosting and rolling down the straight here. So I may not get the full point of the race, but I will do my best to see what's happening. I've just got 4 ghosts all rolling down the straight on the start grid here.
Would you like me to run through the first lap, Matthew? I think
you can do, yes.
I think this is probably best, as you have been disconnected as well.
Oh, I've been disconnected. Yeah, great.
We will have this all sorted by the next round, which will be COTA, so that could be Americas, and well, luckily that we're not in Florida, because we're having very similar conditions to what we're having right now, just a little bit more cars flying in the air, a bit like how Fury did at Spa in an LMP2. But that's going to be an interesting race for this, for sure. And Matt, prediction on race winner?
I'm going to stick with my guns. I'm going to say Shane.
I'm going to go with no. I was going to say my dad, but he told me not to. So I'm going to go with Max on this one. As the res lights here, the lights come on, and we are about to go green for season 7, and away we go. Max did not move, neither did Kelly, and the Acura and the Ferrari are all over the shot. Ugbar's in the wall. But it is the Acura of that Bozzy Boy going into turn 1 with Max on the inside. Kelly's going to be smart and just hang back a little bit as they all go into turn 1. Max stays strong on the inside, and it's going to be Max leading into turn 1 with that Bozzy Boy currently in 2nd, KLF in 3rd. Dean's up there in 4th, and Shane managing to get away with a little bit of contact earlier on, but he's on his way. DJ Phil running wide and losing traction and stuck on the grass as Ugbar's dropped to the back of the field. But it is Max who leads the way into turn 3 with KLF just behind that Bozzy Boy. And what a start there from that Bozzy Boy, as we see here is Smithy going right round himself off, and he touches the curb and around he goes.
It was a great start from Bozzy Boy, Dan. Just looking on the stream here as Stelsloff, he's in the lead. All right, so Bozzy Boy has taken the lead of this race then, and in great fashion. Great start from him. Shane's off as well, so that means Bozzy Boy leads from Max from Kelly. Shane very wide in the background, I've just seen.
Yeah, just sorry, Matt. We're just trying to keep up with what's going on here, and it is that Bozzy Boy who leads the way, and Shane obviously going wide through the triple, probably caught out by a bit of puddle there, but KLF right there in P3 as well. So Kelly's just sitting on the back of it, but it is that Bozzy Boy. Liam leads the way.
According to Jamie in the chat, Dean has had a spin as well. So Dean, he's probably down the order, just trying to see where he is. Yeah, he's down in 9th place. He's Dean Wisocki, so he's had a moment somewhere. He's still off with the looks of it. No, camera picks him up now. So Dan, Wanakora at the front, Wanakora dropping down the order, and Dean said to me yesterday that I need to stop the spinning. That's not the best way to start it.
More importantly, even though all these guys are making these, it is the Porsches that are looking the favourite here. Welshie, Lucas Roth and Shane. Monkey Boy straight into the pits. Has he got a drive-through? That's the question.
Does he have a drive-through penalty then? We'll have to keep an eye on that one, because obviously the Pro-Am pit window is lap 6, and the rules stay the same then. If you pit early, you have to provide significant damage.
Meanwhile, Max and that Bozzy Boy are going side by side, and Max goes down the inside, pushes Bozzy wide, but Bozzy's going to look down the inside into turn 3 by the looks of things, but Max is going to hold it strong. He's run wide, and that's going to allow Bozzy back through again.
It is indeed, and this track, Dan, very difficult to overtake on, and Maxie has got to be patient and clever as he comes through the pack. Welshie's now on the back of Shane. I am now in and hopefully can stay in for a little bit longer. He's gone very wide as Welshie there then, and now Max through the triple into the the right-hand hairpin they come. Kelly, he's just been as patient as ever, and look at Lucas Roth from by the back of the pack up into P4 at this moment in this race, and Bozzy Boy said he was going for this championship. Dan, we thought we was laughing at him. There's a wiggle through the chicane, and he's managed to keep hold of it.
Yeah, he has just managed to keep hold of it. He has had a massive wiggle there, but the more and more they fight, the more and more Kelly's going to get more interested. Max going to look down the inside here of the right-hander, thinks better of it in these conditions. It's definitely a brave move, but right now Kelly's got to be sitting there. I've got to be patient. I've got to take my time. These boys are too busy racing one another. I will pick up the pieces later on. Meanwhile, Shane is on the back of Lucas Roth after his poor start. He is working his way through the field ever so slowly. Smithy with a decent start as well, up in the 7th.
Yep, I cannot actually see what Smithy and then Monkey Boy Smithy, Stelzloff and Dean are doing. They are still ghosted on my screen, but I can see the rest of the field as they come through now. Nope, disconnected we go again.
As they do so, that Bozzy Boy's made a mistake. He's dropped down the order, so now it's Max and Kelly on the leaders now. That Bozzy Boy currently 5th. Shane is ahead of him now, so Lucas Roth is in P3 at the minute. Max has lost the lead. It's now KLF leading.
And Kelly doing what Kelly does best. He's just hanging on into it. He's just keeping his positions. He's just making sure that he is as consistent as ever and leads once again in Pro-Am, Dan. And he'll say this. I forgot to say to him tonight, we'll see on the podium. The last time we said that, he got a podium in Pro.
Lucas has gone wide. That's given Shane a sniffing opportunity down the inside, but he thinks better of it. But Lucas has gone wide. That Bozzy Boy also going wide as well. But these Akoras, who I thought would be doing really well, they seem to be struggling at this stage of the race.
They are struggling a little bit. Smithy's 7th, Dean is down in 8th. I tell you one man who, again, was it the look of Ukbar at times, because he didn't get the start he wanted. A bit of contact was it, I think, made at the start for Ukbar, and already his start to his season is down in 9th place. Monkey Boy as well, not the start he'd have wanted.
No, definitely not. Was
it a drive-through? Do we know if it was a drive-through or not? Sorry.
I don't know, but either way, he's back out on track, so I'm assuming he wasn't in there for long because he's not that far off. As I think Lucas Roth, Welshie's made a mistake there. He was very slow. As Geek's flashing his lights there, I'm not sure why. But
yeah, I think Lucas Roth's he's been overtaken by Shane, Dan.
And that Bozzy Boy's back up to 3rd again. Meanwhile, back to the front, Max is right on the rear wing of KLF. Is he going to try and get the better drive? He looks like he tries to get underneath. He does. Kelly gets a better exit though and pulls away.
And Dan, you had you commentated on these two battles most of last season between Kelly and Max. They fought each other hard and all the time. And Kelly, we know, is a very, very difficult man to pass.
He is indeed, and especially in the wet conditions as well. It's going to be even harder. Max has got to have his brain switched on, and it's not the easiest of circuits to overtake anyway. It's that Bozzy Boy still trying to defend from Shane and Lucas Roth. Smithy has now got ahead of Welshie, and Dean and Smithy are going at it. Smithy, P6 at the minute. He's going to be very happy with that one.
Very happy with that, and he said last year he didn't feel comfortable in the Audi. He's gone back to the Acura, in which he was in the season before the Audi, and I don't know. You just get the sense that Smithy feels a bit happier in the Acura.
DJ Phil was just sending me a photo I don't know why he's sending me, I'm no longer the steward, but he sent me a photo of his damage in the pits, so he's in there for a while.
I love how people haven't read. Sorry, go on.
Kelly's gone wide there, he just made a little mistake, and that's just allowed Max another sniff on opportunity. That Bozzy Boy is now pulled away from Shane. Lucas Roth is losing touch with him as well, so he says he's trying to get his recording to me, but again, he should be reading the rules and regs, because I'm not the steward this season, thank God.
And I tell you what, Dan, it just shows you who's read the rules and regulations, doesn't it?
It does indeed. I mean, I would have read them, but I think I helped made them. So,
yeah, I mean, we was all in the discussion to make the rules and regulations, but it just shows who's read them and who hasn't.
Definitely so. As Max is still all over the back of KLF. The pit window opens on lap 6. So these guys will have to keep going until that window opens. These guys have been told. So if they do come in earlier, they do have to prove significant damage. That's why DJ Phil's shown me. And that's it. Max has got the run. He's going on the outside. He will be on the outside of turn 1 though. But KLF in that Porsche has more grunt. He's going to go down the inside. And Max, is he better on the brakes? No, he's not. But he's going to try and hold it there, and he can't do so. Meanwhile, that Buzzy Boy is catching these two relatively quickly. These two are 39.9, 39.6. Liam, that last lap, a 37.4.
And this is the thing with Kelly now, is he knows he's out front, he knows he's got to defend, and in these tricky conditions, slow and steady will win you the race. And if all Kelly's got to do is keep it nice and tidy and neat and let Max force the issue, when Max forces the issue and starts to really push that car, that's when mistakes can happen. And with Bozzy Boy coming onto the back of this could really let some pressure off of Kelly and let Kelly drive into the distance.
It will indeed. Ugbar is on the back of Welshie now, and Dean is on the back of Smithy again. So there's fights happening all up and down the order. And right now, Kelly showing his experience, not just in Pro-Am, but also all what he's learned in Pro, is going to probably deliver him the best season he could possibly get here in Pro-Am. And that Bozzy Boy is now within a second of Max now. So he has caught them right back up. Oh, Shane's dropped it in the background.
Oh, that's a shame for Shane, because it was going so well for him in this early stages of the race. We said Shane's going to get a race win this season, and let's hope that that comes true, because no one deserves it more than him.
Kelly running very wide on the curb. That's going to allow Max to go right round the outside, and he's unable to do so. And I think Matt's gone and got his
I think I'm in. I think I'm in, Dan.
Meanwhile, it's Kelly's made a mistake somewhere. He's lost a lot of time because he's just lost to Max and that Bozzy Boy. So Kelly going from the race lead down to 3rd. He's just been mugged by the Audi and the Acura there.
Yeah, so what has happened to Kelly there? He's been mugged on the line, and that is really going to hurt Kelly in this race. We don't know what happened, and we hopefully will find out what happened a little later on if we get to speak to him. But Bozzy Boy absolutely charging in the Acura. Some might call it magic.
What's Sim Magic?
Sim Magic.
As Smithy has lost the place to Dean, but Dean's gone straight on at turn 1. And Welshie also just a little bit slow just behind Smithy. Smithy a little bit slow, but they're all being hunted down by Ugbar. And that Bozzy Boy seems to have lost a lot of time to Max. But either way, Max leads the race once again. Pit window has now opened on this lap.
Yeah, pit window is now open on this lap, and DJ Phil pitted at the end of lap 3, I believe it was, Dan?
Yes.
And Monkey Boy's been in the pits, but I'm not going to mark him down yet because we're not sure if it was a drive-through or not. Then Ukbar sliding it through the triple then as he's on the back of Welshie in front, who him himself is trying to get on the back of Smithy, and Dean is ahead of them boys already as well. And Dean trying to get on the back of Shane when the gaps all sort themselves out. As I say, Dean's going to try and get on the back of Shane. He's tumbled down the order to P9, and Dean Wasaki needs to cut out those mistakes he was saying to me yesterday. Well, he's not done, and he's lost 3 places. But, Dan, Bozzy Boy is right on the rear end of Max Mulder here. And I tell you what, he's on an absolute... We didn't believe that Bozzy Boy could do anything this season based off his pre-season pace. But he's turned up, and he is rocking the world at the minute.
Kelly's in straight away. He's getting his pit stop done. Shane staying on, as does Lucas Ross, Smithy, and Welshie, Ukbar all carrying on. So does Dean. Monkey Boy, what does he do? His teammate's currently in the pits in a minute, so he'll have to keep going round, but not the start Monkey Boy would have wanted. Lucas Roth down the inside of Shane into turn 1, and it looks like Shane will just hang on by the skin of his teeth there, but Kelly in the pit straight away. But Liam's lost time again.
Yeah, Liam's lost a bit more time here. So is he just pushing that car, or is that puddle at turn 2 just starting to form a bit greater and greater? Liam last season couldn't touch Max at Zolder in the wet, but he was in the Mercedes-Benz. He's in a bit more of a stabler car this year, and it seems to be proving dividends for him so far. Shane on the podium at the minute from Lucas Roth, from Welshie, from Smithy. Dean Ukbar, Monkey Boy. Kelly came out P10, Dan, as Lucas Roth there, all sorts of strife through the triple.
Yeah, he does. And Kelly at the minute comes out behind his teammate. So really, the only traffic he has is his teammate, a Monkey Boy, who should just either pit or get right out of his way. But Kelly now has got his pit stop done and out the way. Now it's down to Max and that Buzzy Boy to decide if they react. And Max so close to the edge of the circuit there.
Bit of a wiggle for Max, mid sort of corner exit for him there then, and this then could let Bozzy Boy's eyes really open up wide, and Bozzy just looks like he's able to drive the curbs more, and is that a good strategy call? He dives into the pit lane and in he comes.
Yeah, so is he just thinking, right, let's cover Kelly, and also while I've got better pace, let's get in out the way. Max seems to be struggling. He's done a 37.8. Well, that Bozzy Boy is doing those lap times consistently.
Yeah.
What I've noticed with Liam's car compared to Max's, Max can't run the curbs. He's too scared to get on the curbs. Well, Bozzy is all over them.
And I think this is the difference, Dan. Bozzy's able to take the curbs, so does that mean he's able to take the puddles a little easier than Max? And that's where he's making the time up compared to Max Mulder, and we'll have to see through this one. Keep your eyes on KLF then on the circuit, as Lucas Roth's gone very deep at turn 1. Shane's all over the sausage curbs. Keep your eyes on KLF, yet to get past Monkey Boy. Lucas Roth has had a spin, spins it back around now as Shane gets back ahead of him. And I think, Dan, that Bozzy Boy has massively jumped KLF.
He's got to get through the pits first, though. There's Kelly, and Liam is now coming out of the pits now. So he's flown his way through, and he's just got to keep it on track. He goes into turn 2, and there's Monkey Boy and KLF. So Kelly's lost out massively here.
He's lost out some massive time. Kelly's got damage on my screen. No, he hasn't on yours. I'm just looking at the stream. He hasn't on yours. Kelly's bumpers are all bent on my screen, but oh well, we're going with it. Bozzy Boy, though, has gained some immense time. Max now needs the pit stop of a lifetime if he's to make this a lot of time back here. Look at Max staying away from them curbs that Bozzy Boy is all over, and I think that's the big difference. And one thing we didn't speak about in the build-up here was the pit lane entry. So difficult and so long.
And exit as well. The exit is the also problem as well. You're coming straight onto the track where these guys are going into turn 2. Meanwhile, Max carries on going, but he's losing time. Even the guys behind him are slowly just working their way behind. If they weren't too busy racing one another or making mistakes, they could be on the back here. Is Welshie in that Porsche? He said he hates it from time to time, but he's currently P3 at the minute. Obviously, yeah, Liam and Kelly are both pitted, but that's net P4.
Net P4 or 5. And how many times do we say this about Welshie, Dan? Always seems to be around that P3 spot, doesn't he? As Lucas Roth dives into the pit lane, and Dean Wysocki as well dives straight in. So Dean Wysocki, a man who loves to run long in his strategy, has come in the lap after his teammate. Is that Liam just using Liam's experience of being in the pro to help Dean out a little bit there, Dan? Because that from Dean is a very early pit stop.
I think more than anything, it was just Dean getting out of Liam's way. Liam caught onto the back of Dean, and then it was better to get Dean out of the way, get his pit stop done, and Liam can just trundle on through with no hesitation of slowing down or manoeuvring around. Forzy in the chat. Nice to see you in the chat, Forzy.
Yeah. Very good evening. Very good evening to all the chat. Peaceful Stepdad, Mother Davis, Fury's Grandad, Emplava, Jamie Brazier, PM Motorsport, Forzy, Disco with Disco Face I've seen in there. A lot of people in the chat today. 22 people currently watching. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Hit the bell to be notified. And Max still staying away from them curbs, Dan. And the gap to Bozzy Boy is 29.4 seconds. I reckon Bozzy's going to undercut Max here, and we're about to find out.
Well, Max comes into the pits, and where is that Bozzy Boy? He is making his way through McDonald's at the minute. So you see, he's all over the curves. He has got no fear of those curves. More the inside curves than exits. As he's going slow. He's going slow.
Oh, what's happened? No, what has happened?
Has he got wheel issues?
It's a different wheel to what he used last season. So what has happened there for that Bozzy Boy?
He flies on past that Bozzy Boy.
Oh, he's still stopped. What has happened to Liam?
Who says mechanical issues don't happen in project cars? So the question is then, where is Max going to come out? Is he putting on fresh tyres there?
That looked like he was putting on fresh tyres. As Smithy's into the pits at the end of lap 9 as well. If he's put on fresh tyres, if he's put on fresh tyres, Kelly's going to get past him here. No, Monkey Boy as well is in the pits.
So Kelly comes back, Max comes back out, but Kelly is going into turn 1. Has Liam got going again? No, he hasn't. He's still stricken there. So he's stuck. Shane leads this race from Welshie. Max comes back out on track. But KLF is a couple of corners behind him. But anything can still happen. Max can still make a mistake here.
If I was Liam, Dan, and I saw Emplava say it in the chat earlier, it wasn't Liam leading the race this time last season and his wheel cut out. If I was Liam, Dan, I'd order an Italian Chinese one.
All right, yeah. Let's leave the poor kid alone.
Sorry. Got to get him in. Oh, now who's that? That is Stealth Sloth, who's got no rear wing and is nearly ploughed into the back of that Bozzy boy.
Meanwhile,
has him and DJ Phil hit each other? Because DJ Phil's got front bumper damage on my stream as well.
Yeah, on my screen he's got front bumper damage as well. I think both of these two are coming in. Monkey Boy's done his pit stop, so he has complied with the rules. DJ Phil's carried on, so as Stealth Sloth is coming in, I know how difficult that Porsche is without rear wing, and they definitely want to come in.
So Stealth Sloth in, Max Mulder has lapped Bozzy Boy, and I tell you what, Kelly was quite close to Max Mulder. Liam would have jumped Max Mulder in the pits.
He would have, yes, he would. As Kelly wasn't too far behind, he was like, I think now what's the gap? 8 seconds behind. So Matt, it would have been very, very close to team him and that Bozzy Boy. And Max made a mistake.
Max has made a mistake. Who was that coming into the pits? It was Ugbar. So Kelly now a little bit closer once again then here.
Yeah, Max can't keep making too many of those mistakes. Every time you spin the car, you burn up the tyres, and it's making it more difficult to get going. So Max's tyres are going to be a little bit hot, and they're going to hate the puddles right now, but he goes through turn 2, and there is Kelly. He's entering turn 1.
He was very wide through turn 2, though, Dan, compared to Kelly there. Max was. He was almost touching the grass there then. Well, and,
if we go back, when eventually Smithy gets to... Smithy?
He's disconnected, yeah.
Obviously due to wheel issues. So if we go on board with Smithy when he gets to turn 1, let's see the size of this puddle. He goes in there. He goes a little bit wide to Smithy, but there he turns in right, and it's already creeping all the way across. That's possibly why Max is staying so wide.
Potentially so. Bozzy Boy, 100 races, and he will not get to finish it, and was on for a race win, and Liam has to call these issues out.
Yep, he really needs to sort out this wheel or whatever issues he's having. My comment here at the minute is obviously we got Welshie and Shane currently still out on track at the minute. I think Shane's going to pit soon, but let me just also say that Smithy in P5 at the minute, P5, he's doing a fantastic job, and he's keeping Lucas Roth and Dean behind him.
He is, and he's pitted as well. Welshie yet to pit, as is Shane. So Smithy at the minute doing in fact, Welshie is now into the pit lane. So Smithy here doing a stellar job.
He had a wiggle. Now Lucas Roth is all over him, but that invites Dean as well in the other Acura. Smithy hanging for his life here. Last lap was a 2:05, so he is really struggling. He's not got the pace, but he's staying on track. Lucas Roth going to the outside, and he pulls out of that move.
Yeah, he does pull out of that move then, and Smithy then manages to get back up into another, managed to keep hold of P5 at the minute. Welshie's in the pits. Can Smithy get ahead of Welshie? Shane's also still got a pit. Shane leads this race from Max from Kelly. Is Shane going to come out net 3 now that Bozzy Boy has disconnected from this session? Welshie's going now, just left his pit box as Smithy's coming down the start straight. Smithy could be 4th place here, Dan.
He could be, and he's going to be dropped into this right gaggle of cars, which is Smithy, Lucas Roth, Dean, Ugbar, and Monkey Boy, not too far behind either. Welshie's going into turn 1. There's Smithy. Into turn 2 he goes. Oh, he chops his Dean's nose off.
Oh, he does, and Dean's gone round then and into the wall. So for Dean Wasocki then, in the wall he goes there, and Smithy keeps hold of P4. Lucas Roth up to 5th, Welshie 6th, Ugbar 7th, Monkey Boy now 8th, Dean down in 9th, and for the Wakasaki Racing crew, it is not good for them. Shane, the last man to come in for his stop at the end of lap 12, and you'd imagine Max is going to get past him, and Kelly. This could be a net P3 for Shane on his first outing in this car. Is Kelly getting closer to Max there, it looked like?
Well, Kelly's last lap 38.8, Max's was a 39.2. So the gap is coming down. The gap is 5.5. It was 8 seconds previously. So they're slowly. We've still got
11 laps to go in this race as well, Dan, because lap 13 of 23. Plenty of time for Kelly to gain on him.
Kelly's that time wasn't as great. I think he might have been a bit slow in the final corner. But either way, the thing about this though, Matt, as the race keeps going.
Whoa! Hang it! Has he just gone round there? Has Max just? No, he's kept hold of it. Oh.
The thing is, Kelly's just short shifting. He's really taking his time on the throttle. You can see he's half throttle everywhere. Max, on the other hand, is a little bit more Larry everywhere. But he's short shifting as well. He's just shifted there, just between 7,000 revs. So he's taking his time. It's all about who can stay on track. Shane's out. Smithy is under some massive pressure here from Lucas Roth.
He is indeed, and Lucas Roth looks to the outside line at turn 1. He breaks a lot later on board with Ukbar. Smithy hangs on, though, to Lucas Roth, and Lucas Roth has to get out of it. Straight through the puddle, straight off the throttle as well, you notice there. And Lucas Roth, once again, cannot find a way past Smithy. Now, this is a Season 1 battle of Season 1 teammates, Dean Wysocki and Monkey Boy, when they used to be in the Acora. Now Dean's back in the Acora, and Monkey Boy has him hot on his heels.
Oh, I know you've been waiting to hear say that. When
I have.
Obviously, the rumours go around these two, both, like I said, both in the Acoras, and Monkey Boy said that if he gets beaten by Dean in the Acora this season, Matt will not allow him to live it down. And at the minute, Dean is on the rear wing of Monkey Boy.
Dean is charging at the minute, and Disco in the chat, an absolute vintage Wysocki night, he says. Liam's wheel obviously disconnecting and Dean making a lot of mistakes. It is absolutely vintage, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely vintage Wysocki things going on here. And the thing is, we will never know when these issues will be addressed, but at the minute, they don't look like they're going to. Shades in the wall!
Oh, what has happened? And is that a podium thrown away? And this man Smithy back in the Acora and looking like he's going to get on the podium. Let's not forget, 2 seasons ago when he drove the Acora, he should have had a podium at Alton Park before controversial things happened. And he once again looks like he's on the podium here.
He is right on the rear wing of Shane there. He was all over the back of him. This has allowed Kelly and Max to disappear into the distance. So it's now really a 2-horse race between those two, and it's whoever can stay on track. Then it's everybody else for third.
It is, and it is a queue behind third place, and what a job this is, though, from Smithy in this race. Lucas Roth. Oh, he has he? Where? He has at turn 2, so he's dropped all the way down to 6th place, and Smithy's fighting for a podium now.
He said he was not looking forward to the season. He said it was going to be a tricky one for him, but at the minute, he's currently P3 in the first race.
Dan, what's happened to Max Mulder? The gap's down to 1.6 seconds, I do believe that says.
It has.
So what has happened here? Kelly absolutely charging at the minute.
Kelly is, well, he's not really charging. I think Max has made a mistake. We'll see in the lap times in a minute, but Kelly is just keeping his car in the right places. He's not quick. He's doing a Smithy. He's not. Oh,
no! Smithy's round. You cannot ride 2 spinning here, and the Acora driver can't get it going. And for poor old Smithy, he's going to miss out on a podium once again. And all the Acora drivers are falling at the wayside. Hurricane Ian has swept them away. They are going to get no podiums tonight.
It is still to play for. These guys are still making mistakes now. Smithy could still get back on the podium because he's behind Lucas Roth, Ukbar, Welshie, Monkey Boy, and Dean. All these guys have made mistakes all day so far.
Dean on the back of Monkey Boy, on the back of Welshie. 3 places here, 2 places for Dean, could get him back up into that top 5. Ukbar's not a million miles away. This puts Lucas Roth on the podium. And Dan, all these teams we said was going to have a good result. At the minute, one driver's having a bad one. Monkey Boy and Kelly are going to be the team that's going to lead after the first race. With Liam not being able to finish, Rabbit Joe not here, no Bryn for Shane. All these teams are just struggling.
I think Disco in the chat said, "God, Smithy, that's probably cursed him there." Everyone giving him support, and everyone's now just cursed him, as you see there. Welshie and Monkey Boy just go straight on.
Yeah, and that really gives... Where is Welshie? He's joined back behind Dean, and Dean he just looks like he's able... It looks like that Acora is just able to brake a lot easier than the Porsche into turn 1.
It is indeed. That puddle is just getting worse and worse for these guys. They're probably absolutely hating it. As Lucas Roth goes very wide, that's going to offer an opportunity for Ukbar to get by. But he's just slowly chipping away enough at the minute. But Max has really got to be careful now because Kelly is within striking distance.
He is within striking distance, and there's still a long way to go in this race. The more mistake he makes, Lucas Roth could be coming for him if he makes some more mistakes. Ukbar then trying to gain on the back of Lucas Roth. And Dean Wysocki is piling the pressure on Monkey Boy, and Monkey Boy must be getting a bit of a sweat on here to make sure that he doesn't make a mistake and let his old teammate through. And look at the speed Dean closes through the chicane over Monkey Boy, and Dean Wysocki there just so much more confidence, and Dean's car able to run the curbs.
Oh, Kelly's just run deep into turn 1 and looked like he got really close, but I think he just missed his braking zone and he's really slow through here. He's obviously just pushed a little bit too hard into turn 1. Ukbar's right on the back of Lucas Roth, but it is the Acura of Dean Mazzocchi pressurizing Monkey Boy in the Porsche 911.
Yeah, he is pressurising him in the Porsche 911. Dan, one of your favourite, your championship-winning car versus my championship-winning car! Dean Wasocki has done the Wasocki windmill! I wasn't saying anything.
The Porsche.
I was saying how nice the Porsche
top.
wins. Yeah.
Lucas Roth in the wall.
Oh, who's this? Yep, Lucas Roth in the wall. Oh, keep it still as Monkey Boy avoids the back of him. Well, oh, don't hit your dad!
Oh, that would have been a conversation that you wouldn't want to have. He can't get it going.
He can't get it facing the right way. He just keeps looking at the same tyre wall. Smithy might gain another place here. He's still spinning round. Now keep still because Smithy's here. Lucas Roth down to P8. Shane will be with him in a minute, as will DJ Phil.
Let's go back to the start of this race where Ukbar was in the wall facing the wrong way.
Yep.
And he did not get going at all. He is now on the podium.
And I said
that, a second of him.
I said that it's how typical of Ukbar's season to start in a bad way. It just seems to be Ukbar's luck. So, and now Ukbar's on the podium. You can't make this stuff up.
Ukbar gets contact at the start in the wall and faces the wrong way. Monkey Boy gets a drive through.
Yeah.
And has to pit twice. And he's top 4 now. Welshie, who's had all sorts of trips, is P5. And Dean as well has had multiple trips. Shane is now getting past Lucas Roth.
Lucas Roth is still Lucas Roth is struggling once again, and Shane must have. Shane's back into P8. This could promote Stealth and DJ Phil. No! Oh no, Ukbar! Oh my dear me! Monkey Boy is on the podium. Welshie's up to P4, and that was very, very close from Ukbar there. Dean's back into 5th, and you know what? The top 2 can finish wherever they want. The battle's for 3rd.
It is indeed, as we see here. Max has actually lost time again. It seems to be ebbing and flowing. Oh, God. Yeah, it's ebbing and flowing between these two. You can have Thank You Mama for the carrots. I'll have ebbing and flowing.
That's fine. Well, I mean, that was mine and Kelly's saying, but, you know, we'll let you in on it.
Well, at the minute, Audio Sport and 2 Old Pros are currently scoring the most points at the minute.
Yeah. 2 and 3. No Leon Fernie for Max. No Stokesloff not having the best race for Welshie. Liam, wheel problems for Dean. DJ Phil's last for Ukbar. Smithy's not got a teammate. Neither Shane at the minute as DJ Phil stays right out the way. Neither has Lucas Roth. As Lucas Roth back into the pit lane then. So is that less points for him in this race? Max on for race win number 5. Kelly on for race win number 3, I do believe.
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but you're the man with the stats as Lucas Roth is in the pits. And a reminder as well, 12 started this race.
Sorry,
so
it will be race win number 6 for Kelly.
Top 6 won't be allowed to qualify because 12 started, including that Bozzy boy. So at the minute, Max, KLF, Monkey Boy, Welshie, Dean Wasocki, and Ukbar currently up that cusp. Oh, Max! Oh, you need to tone it down now, Max. Calm down.
As you were saying, Dan, the top 6 can't qualify, but yet we don't know who the top 6 is going to be because Ukbar and Smithy's now had a moment. Smithy's now in the top 6 and Ukbar's down in 7th. Max is round! Max is round! You can't believe it! Oh, I hope this happens on Sunday with a different kind of Max. But this then puts Kelly into the lead. Monkey Boy in 3rd place. What points for Audio Sport and 2 Old Pros? How far is Monkey Boy? He's well away. He's well behind. So that's, let's not worry about that one. Monkey Boy's got to focus. Monkey Boy's got to focus on not spinning and dropping out the top 6 because at the minute it could easily happen. Shane is now back into 7th ahead of Ukbar. And is Dean gaining on Welshie? He did, you know, gained a 2.5 nearly.
Yeah, so Welshie...
Dean's coming.
I did say 2 cars could possibly be the ones to be looking at, and that was the Acura and Porsche. And like I said, the Porsche leads the way, and in 3rd and in 4th. So in these conditions, I can't stress more enough that I think the Porsche all-round is the best wet running car. I don't know if anyone agrees with me, but I think the Porsche is the best car in the wet.
I think the Acura is a banging car in the wet as well, based off 2 seasons ago. The fact I love the Acura, but I think the Acura will get. And I think you're seeing tonight, Liam and Dean and Smithy at one stage was giving the Porsche a good run for its money. I think if we have more wet races this year, this could pose a big threat to the Porsche in terms of wet running. Lucas Roth still in the pits. He's just lost out to Stelsloff. Shane's deep. Smithy's deep at turn 3. Shane looking to tuck up the inside. And can we say it for the first time this season? We can. Thank Thank you, Mama, for the carrots.
DJ Phil is into the pit, clearly damaged, and we're still on lap 19 of 23. We still haven't quite got to the end of this race.
Very, very long race. Kelly, though, has a 3.5 second lead to Max Mulder, who's got some 29 seconds back to Monkey Boy, who's got 4 seconds back to this man, who himself has 3 seconds back to this man. And I tell you what, even this is what I love about wet races, right? Everybody span. Dean's had good pace here in the dry testing all week. He's had a couple of mistakes himself in which people may be thinking, yeah, same old Dean, you know, oh, he's spun again, yeah, whatever. He's kept it going. He's P4. P5 at the minute, sorry.
Yeah, definitely so. Yeah, definitely so. Like the wet weather is like... Oh, Dean's got damage to the front of his car. But the wet weather is such an even level playing field, isn't it? It's just so... No matter what car you're in, the wet weather is all about your driving, isn't it? Whoever keeps it on track.
100%. And... You know, we sit here and say, you know, you said the Porsche is the best. I kind of like the Acura in the wet. At the end of the day, if the driver can't deliver, you know, Max could have won the race. You know, the Ginetta could have won the race. The Ferrari could have won the race. Nobody knows, you know, and it's all about how the driver delivers. Kelly has been probably the most consistent man. He made one mistake early on and has just done what Kelly does best. But he is coming under pressure from Max, though.
He is indeed. Can he hold the pressure? That's the question. Disco in the chat says, called it from the start. Kelly is the man. I would love to have called it, but me and my dad have already had a debrief before we even started this season. And the first thing he said is, don't say at any point that you're going to favouritize me for a win, because you're more likely going to make me crash. So I'm not allowed to favouritize Kelly. So in my heart, I want him to win, but at the minute I've gone for Max, and at the minute top 2, I'm winning at the minute.
Yeah, I said Kelly was in my heart, but I didn't want to say him neither. Yeah, but I did say Shane, so I'm 1 and 6. Yeah.
Either way, these two are going to have a titanic fight right to the end. Stelslav and Lucas Roth are close, going for the triple. That's brave of Lucas Roth.
On his uncle as well, so trying to get past family there is Lucas Roth. Is the two leaders. The two leaders are catching them. They're having their own fight and squabble. The two leaders are coming and having a fight and a squabble. Oh! Don't forget! Oh!
And they're all over the shot there.
Stelslav and Lucas Roth.
I think Kelly and Max probably sat there and went, I'm glad I'm not wearing white boxes tonight, because they're going to be suddenly brown.
I think Haley's going to get some toilet paper for Kelly there. Speaking of Kelly, Max has got an almighty run on him, and he's going to look up to the inside. And has he got enough time to stick a nose up there? He's going to be brave and try it. And Kelly, thank you very much, he says. Max didn't need a second invitation there, and Kelly made that relatively easy for him.
Yeah, I think Kelly's just thinking about, is he going to have a pointsy season? Is he thinking about the championship?
Oh, a pointsy season, eh? Tom Ingram style. I like that. Ginsters and all.
He knows Max has been making mistakes. He's got 3 laps left to go. And how much tyre are these guys using? Oh, wait, hang on. 9 litres worth of fuel Kelly has.
Oh, no. Kelly's lost a lot of time there to Max. He's fuel saving.
Is he fuel saving?
I think he's fuel saving.
What was it? 9 litres exactly. They got what, 3 laps to do.
I think he's fuel saving. I honestly think, as I've dropped my headset. Fuck! I forgot about the PlayStation.
Yeah, Kelly is on 8.4 litres. So he's struggling for fuel.
Apologies, I unplugged my microphone. Yeah, I 100%. I think Kelly here is fuel saving. I'll tell you why. I've got Floyd's PlayStation plugged into the living room telly, so I can't quite see properly. So I'm altering myself. So I'm now stood. I'm like in a proper commentary box where I'm stood, like Crofty and Martin Brundle, or like myself at Racing Unleashed. Check them out. And if anybody from Racing Unleashed is watching, you're welcome for the free plug. Kelly then here is absolutely flying, struggling. 3 seconds slower than Max on the last lap. 2 seconds slower than Monkey. 2 seconds slower than Welsh. Is he? Because why? He was very slow, Dan.
Maybe he had a moment.
Mr. Gear?
So, possibly so. Maybe Mr. Gear went down too many, spin the wheels up. Who knows? But either way, I'm just watching him. It was 9 litres, but he crossed the line. He's going to cross this line with 7 litres, so he's only using 2 litres a lap. He'll be fine for fuel to the end, but he has cut it very low.
And I wonder if questions are going to have to be asked about why that happened for him then. Dean Wysocki is getting within a second of Welshie here. Dean, you know, he's on for a fourth place at the moment. Kelly's got 2 laps to get this job done. Why was Kelly slow? Because look, he's a 10th quicker last time around. So what happened to Kelly that lap then? Did he have a wiggle that we didn't see and he was slow up the straight? Because Max, actually, when you think about it, Max had an almighty run on Kelly, didn't he, up the straight?
Yeah, he did. He had a great run. Maybe Kelly just had a bit of wheel spin. Maybe got the tyres a bit hot. Who knows? As he's lost a lot of time on exit there. So maybe a little bit of wheel spin again. Maybe Kelly's just struggling on tyres, possibly.
Is this where Max changed his tyres maybe in the pits that's gave him the better traction at the end compared to Kelly then? Speaking of better traction at the minute, Dean Wysocki is... Oh, no! Dean Wysocki was all over the back of Welshie.
That was another brown pants moment, but for Dean that time round, I mean, you definitely don't want to be a racing car driver and wear white underwear, because
no,
especially in these conditions.
Especially in these conditions, yeah. I tell you what I'd love to be. I'd love to be, Danny, in one of them racing on these simulators in these conditions. Could you imagine how fun that could be? Sliding the car through there, you'd be bouncing along all over the place. That'd hurt the old back, I reckon.
I think I'd be concussed.
Yes, quick concussion check after the race.
Yeah.
Speaking of the race 1, because don't forget, ladies and gents, we've got a second qualifying and race 2 coming up in just a little bit. Race 1 is coming to an abrupt end here then, and for KLF 900, he has a small window of an opportunity to get past Max Mulder here. Dean Wysocki then, in terms of him, he has a bit longer than Kelly to get past Welshie. They're both sliding it through the hairpin corner in towards the chicane, and this is it. Final lap. Kelly's got to do it this lap, or think of a pointsy season. I think that's the normal line at the minute, Dan, because they're all seeming to be doing it.
He got a lot on the grass. Dean's had a great run through McDonald's. Can he get Welshie into the right-hander here? The third to last corner, as Matt's dropped his headset again. As as Max gets really close to Lucas Roth there, who looks like he's had another moment. He's just cruising to the end, but Kelly clears him relatively easy. Max, though, it looks like he's just going to hang on, but he's got to survive half a lap.
You say he's just going to hang on, Dan. He's got to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. It's so treacherous in these conditions from now till the end of the line. Dean has a full lap to get it past Welshie for KLF here. He's got to make sure that he puts some pressure on Max. He's got a good enough gap ahead of Monkey Boy. He needs to watch them track limits there. Was that 2 wheels on the curbs, I wonder? Max there, what's this? What is that all about? Was that a wiggle, or was that him? I don't know if that was a wiggle or not.
I think that was an early celebration there. So, well, she had a big wiggle himself. Dean nearly followed him.
Dean did nearly follow him, but Dean is sniffing an opportunity as Max now comes into the penultimate corner. You've just got to get this one and the final one right. Kelly's going to push to the very end, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And it's going to be win number 5 for Max Mulder in his Simplay's career. But it's going to be win number 1 this season. And the Audi on the top step of the podium with the Porsche of KLF 900. The bridesmaid yet again in Pro-Am. Monkey... Oh, no, Dean! Oh, no, Dean!
Oh, Dean Wysocki just getting disconnected right at the end there. Such a shame for Dean there. I mean, that is not fair. That is not fair, PlayStation or Project Cars. That is horrible. Oh my God.
You have to feel sorry for these people, these drivers tonight. And it's Project Theo are attacking the Acura drivers. I swear down, they're attacking the Acura drivers. Monkey Boy, great result for him in the end. Take nothing away from his night. 2 pit stops he's had to do. He's going to come home for a P3 and a podium. Welshie can probably sigh a bit of relief here, because would he have got the P4? We don't know. But P4 in the end for him. Job done there. For Shane, it's going to be gifted a P5 at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, Shane will want to look back and just go, you know what, we'll throw this race away. I mean, the amount of testing he's done in the drive, he's got so much testing done in this drive that he's so focused on the tyre, a dry setup, the wet setup really threw him out, and this weather properly caught him out. So such a shame there for Shane. He could have done a lot better. Smithy, though, P6, and he's in the top 6. He won't be able to qualify.
Smithy can't qualify. This for Dean means that Dean can qualify. Smithy cannot. P6 for Smithy. Great job for him. Ukbar, a kind of, I'm going to say it was an Ukbar kind of race. Yeah. Spins, contacts, his own little mistakes. Either way, a P7 for him. P8 went the way of Stove Sloth. Dan, if you'd like to find out the fastest lap for me, P9 went the way of Lucas Roth, with P10 going the way of DJ Phil. Dan, the fastest lap was Max Mulder then, and he takes a clean sweep in race 1. We are going to be right back in about 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Watch me elevate. All in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Watch me elevate.
Broken dreams in my pocket, golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, cause you caught it, you caught it. You're golden, golden, honestly you know it. Me under the street light at the young so I could show you. You're golden, golden, honestly you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine just so that I could show you. You're golden. was laid on the carpet. Eye to eye, glistening. No, I saw it. I saw it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the young, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you glow it. Me under the mezzanine, just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. You know
getting hype when I aim up. Elevating that game up. Stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. All in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, yeah, that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave. Eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. When I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate. I was born and when I watch me elevate.
Broken dreams in my pocket. Golden thing round my neck like a locket. Carve your name in my mind, cause you caught it. You caught it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me under the street light at the young, so I could show you. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you're glowing. Me under the mezzanine, just so that I could show you. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. You're golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden. Bodies laid on the carpet. Eye to eye, glistening. No, I saw it. I saw it. You're golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Me, I'm listening just so that I could show you you're golden. Yeah, you're golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. Golden. You're golden. Yeah, you're golden. You know it. Yeah, you're glowing. Golden. Golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Meet under the street or at the end so I could show you. Golden, golden. Honestly, you know it. Meet under the golden. Hey, you're golden. Golden. You're golden. Golden.
He probably does know this track pretty well as everything. I've just realised we've done all them interviews and I've not even pressed the Be Right Back screen. So nobody's even heard the interviews there. That's well done me. Yep. with all the problems of tonight. We've done all the interviews, and we've been on a Be Right Back soon screen on mute. So I do apologise for that, ladies and gentlemen. With all the dramas of tonight, no one heard anybody's interviews. Max was happy, Kelly was happy, Monkey was happy, and can't let Dean beat him is basically what he said. Ignore Goat and Duffin on the screen. He will be retiring from the race because that is where I am watching from. That is why I forgot to press the correct button. Qualifying now. There's only 4 drivers set lap. Ukbar, that Buzzy Boy, DJ Phil and Stealth Sloth, Dan. And it looks like Ukbar could get that pole position unless Dean Musaki can do anything about it.
Yeah, definitely so. Lucas Roth, though, is going to come out at all. As my headset's been a bit weird now. But either way, this night is just going really, really well. It just kind of makes me a little bit nervous for tomorrow.
You're nervous for tomorrow. Jeez. Imagine how I must be feeling at the minute. Either way, all in all, Dan, the driver's very happy, I think, is what the general consensus.
Yeah, overall happy. Overall, Max with a little bit of experience from racing in other leagues on this circuit, which the thing that blows my mind is that other leagues are on this track, so they're just as mental as we are. But either way, Ukbar is on his way, and he's the man who's got quite a lot of pole positions here at Simplay Motorsport, and he's done them all in the Pro-Am race too, I believe. Yeah,
he has indeed. So more pole positions for him to get, and more joys for him to have on his face. We'll wait and see what happens here, though. As I'm just sorting out all the grid positions, and they should be filled in now. They are done, so we're just waiting for the top 5. Lucas Roth not going to get himself a qualifying lap in then here, and we are just waiting Dean Wasaki. Whatever you're seeing on screen, I'm not able to, because for some reason it's not changing my camera views like it was in the first race, so I may just have to leave and come back and spectate, unless it does take over for the race director in the race. We will wait and see, but Dan is your race director.
There's only 2 we can see at the minute, which is Dean and Ukbar, and they're the only ones setting lap times at the minute.
Yeah, and Dean is on a
done.
lap. Ukbar is done, and in the pits he goes then. So this man, the last man out on circuit, and has a big wiggle turn 1, so that is not going to help his cause at all there, and he has got some work to do if he's to get it back in pressure. Liam then, wheel problems, he was saying to me in the mid-session breakdown, that is not what he wants to see.
Yeah, definitely not, even though he's got another wheel now that he's kindly got off PN Motorsport, and it seems to be... Is it the wheel that's the problem? Is it going to be the console?
He said it's a similar problem. It's just shut off, except this time it's not hot. So I wonder if maybe his USB stick ports need just dusting out or blowing out. We'll have to wait and see. Dean then on his final lap. Where will he put the car? Can he get it on that second row of the grid? He's currently row 3 with Shane. Either way for Dean, I think any place will be a good place for him.
He's going to be starting near the front anyway, so with him just being out on track and setting a lap time, he will be at least row number 3 with Shane, but he would dearly like to get ahead of probably Phil or Stealth Sloth, but we'll just see what lap time comes together. It might be an absolute stonker of a lap, we just don't know until he comes into the final corner now. Dean, what can he do? Can he get himself near Ukbar? That is the question towards the line. Dean Wasaki, where will it put him? We don't know.
Not in the top 3, because that still says on my screen Ukbar then will be the second pole position for Ukbar. The second pole position of the season will go the way of Ukbar then. That Buzzy Boy will be on the front row alongside him in second place. DJ Phil in P3 in the other Janetta, and Dean Wasaki gets ahead of Stealth Sloth for 4th place. Stealth Sloth will line up then in P5. Dan, let's get this second race underway.
Let's do indeed, as we've got the guys all lined up, as I believe the Go-10 Duffin car will go back to the pits as it's done so, and it's a lovely little glitch.
Right, I am just going to leave and come back in, because it's not showing me your camera movements, so hopefully it will do when I come back in and spectate, Dan. So you might have to get us underway in the race once again here.
Oh, goody, there's going to be an exciting race. But Matt, obviously with Ukbar on the front row, some of the winners of the previous race nearer the back of the grid, who is your money on for race 2?
No wheel problems, that Buzzy Boy.
No wheel problems, that Buzzy Boy. Oh, okay. I'm going to go... I'm going to go the way of Shane. I'm going to go the way of Shane on this one.
Shane from row 3. That is an interesting one then.
Well,
so, in terms of the pole...
Well, the thing we haven't commented on, we got light rain. We haven't got heavy rain.
No, yes, you're correct.
And with what the forecast has been showed so far, it might clear.
It might clear.
So, all to play for still.
It is. Max Mulder, third pole position of the season in race 1. And Ukbar tied now with Fury on 15 pole positions. He's getting close to that magical golden 25. In terms of race wins, Max, 5th race win. He goes tied with Ukbar, Enplava, Disco and KLF himself. So that could be an interesting fight to watch as they head for race wins number 25 to be tied with myself and Gary until tomorrow night. And in terms of appearances, then, Bozzy made his 100th. KLF is about to make his 97th.
Big numbers. I think this season I should make my 150th.
You do, and I make my 100th at Daytona. Last race of the season, very last race. I make my 100th.
We are
you make your 100th.
Here. We are green lights here. We're getting ready to go.
Oh, I'm in. I'm in.
Race 2, we are underway, and Ukbar gets a decent start, but it's that Bozzy boy who pulls away, and there's loads of cars going off to the side. Mainly Stelslav, he moves out of the way, and it's a Oracora 1-2 going into turn 1. It's that Bozzy boy and Dean Wazaki going into turn 1.
Yeah, Bozzy boy from Dean Wazaki from Ukbar who gets a bit of a tap on the rear from Smithy, and that's pushed Shane round, and Max Mulder was caught in the middle of that. He's gone off at turn 2 onto the gravel. He'll have to yield some time there and give a few places back. He's given one back to Shane already. Will he give one to Smithy? Ukbar all over the curbs and all over the place, and it's Wakasaki 1-2. But how will these Acoras go about it? This is the key question here. As Lucas Roth, he'll be grounded in the morning.
If he even makes the morning, as Monkey Boy's just trying to maneuver his way, all these Porsches and a Ginetta. But it is the Wakasaki duo leading the way.
It is a Wakasaki 1-2, Acora 1-2, and then it's Ginetta, Ferrari, Audi, Acora, then it's Porsche, Ginetta, Porsche. Through, down the hairpin they come at the start of this lap into the McDonald's chicane, and everybody getting through it, knocking the bollards a mile off, and Dan, you can just see it's brightened up a little bit, and the track doesn't look as treacherous.
Brighten up is a questionable comment there, but it is a lot... I like what I did there, questionable comment. It's a little bit clearer for indeed, but I think it's just going to still get relatively wet, so these guys are going to be in better conditions, but it's still going to be tricky out there no matter what.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very tricky for these boys, and it's going to be very, very tricky for this man who's got to catch Max Mulder. But the bonuses for him is Max is on the back of Shane and Ukbar here. He's got a lot of traffic. Welshie has his son right behind him, and Monkey Boy still down in P9. DJ Phil didn't get a great start. He dropped to 10th, and Stelslav down to 11th. Smithy down in 12th and some way off the pack at the minute. Here comes Max up the inside of Shane. Ferrari versus Italy. Ferrari versus Audi. Italy versus Germany, and Germany wins that one.
Yeah, Germany absolutely dominating at their home track as well, with Audi and Porsche both on the podium. So Germany looking strong, and Audi obviously will have something to prove this season, as they will be going into F1 relatively so. So Audi's got a big boost to fill.
They have indeed, and Max then just looks like he's got such more speed over Ukbar around the outside of turn 3. Job done, easy as you like for Max Mulder. He can now hunt after the Wakasaki boys, and I tell you what, the lighter rain conditions for Max has made him look a little easier. The problem is does he pit for the tyre change again like we think he did in race 1? Wakasaki 1-2, and Dean sticking to the back of Bozzy Boy here.
He is indeed. Where is Max? There he is in the background. He is coming after them. Ukbar's got Shane breathing down his neck, and Callie has finally caught those two. Lucas Roth just behind him. Welshie also not too far behind, with Monkey Boy and DJ Phil coming well. Stelslav missing the chicane there, and Smithy a little further back. I think he's had a spin or a moment earlier on in the race, but at the minute it's the Wakasaki duo. What do they do about Max now? Because Max is going to be hunting them down, and that Bozzy... Bit of a twitch for Max coming through the second part, the left-hander. That's put him onto the gravel. That's cost him a bit of time there. What do they do, Dan? That is the big question. Shane has a slide through the penultimate. The other question, Dan, is Dean's keeping pace with Liam at the minute. Now, as a team, sort it out very quickly, because in these conditions, you do not want to fight each other. Get a car in front, get a car behind, have one hold station. Dean actually a tenth quicker than Liam on the last lap. So these boys could start scrapping. 37.8 from Max, though. He's massively quicker than them, though. So
and that was with a mistake.
It was with a mistake. So Liam's either got to go faster and Dean go with him, or they're going to have to try and make those Acoras as wide as humanly possible.
And that's the thing for Dean and Liam, is how wide can they make him? The other thing for Max is how much do we see him make this few mistakes mid-race last time around? We think that's why we think he changed his tyres. We didn't even ask him in the interview, so don't worry, you didn't miss that one. Max now within 2 seconds of Dean Wysocki. Sorry, within nearly a second of Dean Wysocki. Dean still within that second of Bozzy Boy. Just kind of holding station at the minute, but Max is a man possessed so far. He is coming to Dean Wysocki like a man on a mission.
KLF's lost a little bit of time to Shane here. He's just taking his time here. I think Kelly's just trying to get his Porsche in that right window. Monkey Boy's not really got very far. He's still currently P9. He's stuck behind the Welsh duo of Geeks and Chris at the minute. So at the minute, Monkey Boy's not making any headway, and this Porsche is not looking as good this race.
Oh, Dean, a little snap there through the right hander, gets it corrected for the left, so it's got back to him. He's lost a lot of time to Bozzy Boy, a couple of tenths, if not half a second, and Max now within 0.8 of a second. Hang on to that one, she says, and indeed Max does. And now that Audi just starting to dance around, as Liam must have made a mistake through that final corner. Kelly drifting that car through as well, and Liam down into the 37s, Dean in the 38s, and Max's 36.6. And Bozzy Boy has improved his pace, but needs to improve it more.
He does indeed. Well, at this point as well, he needs to use Dean. He needs to make Dean go as wide as he can, and these lighter rain conditions has actually made that puddle massive already.
It seems worse, doesn't it, in this second race? Obviously, later in the days, the track conditions would have changed as well. And Dean Wysocki here doesn't need to do a Dean and overdrive the car. Doesn't need to push it too hard. Slow and steady. Max has got to pass him, don't forget. And that's the way it's got to be. Dean Wysocki at the minute then, doing what he needs to do to stay in front. As there is Smithy. He looks like he's really struggling in this second race. Kelly then has... where's Ukbal gone? Oh no, he's in front. He's in front. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't see him there.
It's P4. Ukbar's run a little bit wide though. I think that's allowed Shane to get a little bit closer, as does Kelly. None of these guys are really scared of the curbs this time. They're really attacking the curbs now.
They really are. None more than Shane as well, look, but it just seems to unsettle his Audi. Dean a bit slidey through the chicane, the McDonald chicane, and here comes Shane once again. He pulls out the spray, good amount of spray on track, so Max, sorry, as Dean then in front, keeping his car. He just looks a bit too drifty through the corners, just Dean, at the moment.
Yeah, possibly so. He might have made that car a little bit too twitchy for these wet conditions, but either way, he's doing the job he needs to do. Is that a car go flying? I noticed Lucas Ruff just looked like he went flying off screen there for a second as Dean's dropped it, and actually Max has got through.
Max has got through then, so Dean's got to come back at Max, and these have managed to get a decent sized gap to Ukbar behind, and Dean's now got to come through on Max. Looking at the last lap times, Max lost a couple of tenths to Bozzy Boy, but was that because he was held up by Dean Wysocki? Lap 5 of 23, the pit window opens at the end of the next lap, not the end of this lap, so the drivers at the minute doing everything they need to, and it's been relatively clean here in this second race.
Yeah, it has no real issues so far. Welshie is starting to come under pressure from Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy has finally woken up and has realised that there's two Acorahs beating him at the minute, and he needs to just, just get that beat all going now.
Yeah, I think we're going to go for race 1s, not race 2s, because that's a bit unfair to Monkey Boy.
I mean...
I'll still do it.
I still think that he needs to... He's the driver of a good enough level that he should be able to be ahead of those Acorahs.
Oh, Dean, hang on to that through the triple. He does indeed. And Dean's car just looks a little loose at the minute, but I tell you what, he's matching the pace of Ukbar, Dan. He's not really having Ukbar gain on him too much. Kelly...
Everyone's matching one another.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. I thought Kelly would come through the field like Max did, and he hasn't really.
I think with these less riskier conditions, people have got used to the bad conditions. Now there's a little bit less rain. They've all just got used to it. They're now used to the bad conditions, and they've just got into a flow. They know where all the bad puddles are going to be. I say that Bozzy Boy goes wide.
He does go wide, and he's lost a bit of time to Max Mulder then, and here comes Max to Bozzy Boy. There's a puddle there, look, just as they hit the brakes, Dan, going into that final corner, and Bozzy needs to make sure he stops making mistakes here then, as he heads into Kelly, that's a bit wide there from you as well.
Yeah, I think he would have lost traction there. He would not got any advantage. He was behind Shane. He's lost time there. He's nearly 2 seconds behind Shane now, so him running wide is really not helping him right now.
It's really not helping him at all, Dan, as Max and through that puddle that looks worse at turn 2. Dean able to take a bit more of it, so is that something that Dean and Liam can take advantage of? Dean has gapped Ukbar a little bit more, and Max and that Bozzy Boy look out front, 38s between them, and only a couple of hundredths in it for Max. That turn 2 puddle is becoming worse.
Geeks is drifting it. He thinks he's in Formula Drift right now, and he's just hanging it sideways through there. What a lad. Oh, that Bozzy boy has made a mistake. He's made a big mistake by the looks of things. He's very slow through the triple. That's allowed Max to get a lot closer here.
It has indeed, Dan, and Max now within that second to Bozzy boy, and he's really going to put some pressure on him. Look at Bozzy, not afraid of the curbs at McDonald's.
We just lose Matt for a second there, I think, or is he still there? I believe he's still there. Lucas Roth has made a mistake. Lucas Roth has gone off by the looks of things, and he's back on track. As now Monkey Boy goes ahead of him. Max is now within 7/10 of that Bozzy boy.
I'm back.
Yep, I hear you now.
Yeah, brilliant. I'm back as Max goes into the gravel there and lets Bozzy boy off, and that gap now opens back up to 1.2, so Bozzy boy's just got to keep his focus at the minute. Dean doing a massive job so far. He's gapping up, that gap's up to 4 seconds, and Dean doing a stellar job. He's not been dropped by the front two.
Shane's got back. He's lost the place to KLF, so as KLF comes in...
That's why. Kelly's into the pits then at the end of lap 6. KLF pits then, and that will be... He's done that in the first race. He's doing it again now. Will that undercut work for Kelly in this one? As Max, he's just struggling through these bigger puddles now, Dan.
He is indeed. Kelly, obviously, one of the big benefits of being back in the Porsche, he said, was obviously his pit stops are so much better. Will it be as good here? 60 litres on board that car now, so he's got plenty of fuel this time. So
it's not quite DJ Phil's 100 litres of the other season, though, is it?
No. Kelly's in. Has he gone? Yes, look at that pit stop. That is reminiscence of the shake and bake pit stops. God, what a team. I miss them days.
The sweet and sour Bozzy boy! At the trip, Max has followed him. So is there a puddle forming then at the triple? Because Dean was socky now. Oh, has to get on the brakes to avoid his teammate.
Well, Max has obviously gone off at the right time. Oh,
Bozzy's round again.
And the two Akoras come together. Where's Ukbar? There he is. And he's going to see two Akoras facing the wrong way. Has Kelly timed this right? Those two too busy
Smithy's
over
in.
one or another.
Apologies, Smithy's in at the end of lap 6 as well, and I think you're right. Kelly may have timed it right. Them two tripping over each other, and Uncle Dean may have a few harsh words to say.
He might have as well. Depends if both of them disconnect again. But Max at the minute, he's in tiptoe mode again. The start of this race, he looked fierce and very fast. Through there, he just looked like he was tiptoeing again.
And this is something we saw, Dan, last season when he won them 4 races in the Pro-Am. It was very easy for him. He wasn't challenged or pressured much. All right, this year he's had a different start to his season in Pro-Am. He's been pressured by Kelly and by Liam, as I think that was Liam coming into the pitch. Yes, it is end of lap 7 for Bozzy Boy. But for Max, again, he's just been let off the hook a little bit. We saw Max had good pace in Pro, but not the same as what he had in, not as... He wasn't able to walk away with it in Pro-Am because of the different calibre of drivers. In Pro-Am, they're letting him get away with it. And in terms of the championship, you never want to let a driver get a good start and a good bit of momentum in a season.
Yeah, because obviously that momentum will stick to Max now. He will know. He will have the edge over the rest of the drivers. So all he has to do is get up onto the rear wing of a car, and already they're all already mentally worrying about it. Dean actually gained a little bit of time on Max that lap, so Max might have had a little bit of a squirrely moment. All the lap times are coming down. The only man who's still in the 30s is this man, Shane. He's still in the 39s.
I think you mean Ukbar gained a bit of time on Max here, because Dean was a 48.3. Actually lost 2 seconds to Max.
Kelly's going to turn 1. That Bozzy boy is exiting the pits. Liam will stay ahead, but because of that mistake, Kelly's got a lot closer to the leaders. Dean is within 9/10 of Max.
So what's happened to Max through the triple then? Is the triple, but we saw Liam and Max make a mistake at the triple last time. Dean is on the back of Max here, and who is this? That, I believe, is Smithy, who's going to be a lap down. He's on the brakes now. It is Lucas Roth, apologies. So has he made a mistake this time around? And Dean into the penultimate couple of corners. Dean, then, what is happening to Lucas Roth? We know he has wheel problems.
Yeah, he has wheel problems where it changes all the screens and he can't see anything. And he's got going, but obviously has the screens affected him. Dean is staying out, though. He's going to go long.
He is going to go a little longer. Does he think of pitting the same lap as Max? I wonder if that's the tactic for him. Now, with Dean putting Max under some pressure and Max making another mistake, that brings Bozzy Boy and Kelly. Look, Bozzy, 29 seconds. KLF 33, as Keegs has had another moment. I wonder if we'll see him come into the pits or retire from this one. Monkey Boy's in at the end of lap 8.
He is indeed. As you see there, Dean's going very wide. These guys have learnt this line now, and Just remember when we ran here with Andy and Gary and myself, D Biggs, we all
Yes.
debate very similar situations to this. Obviously, it was a lot warmer. I think we were in the middle of summer when we did it last time, so the track dried significantly quicker. Me and Biggs obviously gambled and stuck with the wets, and it paid off. But by the end of it,
we've
we were getting
lost.
mugged.
Apologies, we've lost Lucas Roth. So probably clear wheel problems for Lucas Roth there.
Possibly so, as Monkey Boy into the pits, Welshie into the pits. More importantly, Dean, once again, is within half a second of Max when he come through this section. He's right on the rear wing of him now.
He is right on the rear wing, and I'm wondering if the triple's just becoming a bit dodgy then for Max. As Max takes a lot of the chicane, Dean here looks like he's got a good bit of momentum, and he's got a great run on Max here. He's going to come up the inside, and Dean Wysocki, 1 win to his name, Dan. We called it in the Wet at Snetterton Season 2. Dean, lap 9, up the inside of Max Mulder. Thank you, Mama, for the carrots.
He's back in the Acura and he's now on top. What happened with Max there? He just had no pace. He looked like Kelly for a second there.
He did, very reminiscent to Kelly. Does Dean Bull coming into the pits now? No, Max does. End of lap 9, Max pits. Dean now, what does he do?
That's the question. What does he do? I think at this stage, Dean's tactic of usually staying out usually hinders him, but he's got the tyres in the right window. He's got everything in the nice window. You might as well just keep going. If you're in the zone, just keep going until you make one little mistake, then come into the pits if you make that mistake.
And that's it. He's in that zone. And the other thing, Dan, as well, is he's got clear air. 4 seconds back to Ukbar. Nobody in front of him.
Max
clear track for
Max
him.
in his pit box. Where's Bozzy? He's in the final corner. Max is going to lose out to Bozzy.
So has them couple of mistakes for Max then hurt him as Bossy Boy up the inside of DJ Phil. That's an absolutely cracking move from Liam, and he's side by side with a Janetta. Acora versus Janetta. Kelly watches on in the background, and Max Mulder's going to lose out to KLF here, is he? Because he's not yet off his pit limiter. DJ Phil tries to go up the inside. Bossy gets that job done. Where's Max going to appear in terms of KLF?
He's coming into the corner now. There is Max, and he's lost out to KLF and that Bozzy Boy. Where's Dean gonna drop out of all this?
Dean and Ukbar and possibly Shane could be in a right window. Max 31 seconds behind Dean. Now has traffic in front of him. Dean, if I was you, I know we say about Dean going long, he's in that perfect window. I'd bring it in now, Dan.
I think he'll be just ahead of Kelly and Max, but yeah, this is going to be interesting for sure. Dean hasn't got long until he decides when he's going to come in. He has to be squeaky clean if he chooses to do so, but Ukbar is catching him.
Ukbar is catching him slowly, and Dean now doesn't come into the pit lane. Let's not forget Ukbar's got a pit, as does Shane. Dean matching the pace of Bozzy Boy. The only man quicker than them last time around was KLF, the only man in the 39s. Obviously, Max had to pit. Max has got past Kelly, though.
He has got past Kelly, and Kelly obviously made a mistake through the chicane of McDonald's there, and that Bozzy Boy is gone. He is completely gone from Max.
Checked out, hasn't he? He's making sure that he can get that time and get in front to Dean and make sure he can get around Dean in terms of when Dean pits. Ukbar has pulled a gap bit back to Dean a little bit. Look at Dean's last lap in the 39s. That's decent pace for Dean Wysocki out front. He's proving he can race at the front. And Dan, I don't think we said anything about Dean or Liam being in this championship this season, but they've both proven race 1 and race 2. They are fighting for this one.
Practice is all one thing, but until you get on track with the people you're competing with and in the conditions that you're going to be running in, it all goes out the window, all the practice. There's no point. You don't know what you're going to be running until you get into it. You may get as much preparation as you possibly can, so you're ready for any...
Phil! Oh, I tell you what, that must have been a bit of squeaky bum time for Max Mulder there as DJ Phil drops the car, and that is Max and KLF through. For Max now, he can hunt after Bozzy Boy once again in this race, and Dean has gapped Ukbar by nearly 2 seconds.
Yeah, he's gained that extra time.
We've lost Welshie.
Welshie's disconnected, he's gone. And that Bozzy Boy's dropped it. Oh. So Max has now moved up, KLF has moved up, that Bozzy Boy drops now. Dean is in the net lead right now. If he pits now, he will come out in front.
I think Dean's in a cracking window, and I think Dean needs to box sooner rather than later. He doesn't want to give it too much time, because the problem is at the minute, Dan, Max is being given, again, that opportunity we spoke about of cars falling behind him and making mistakes. Max is being gifted the opportunity. Do not give this guy an opportunity, because he will take it.
He will indeed. He's raced a couple of races in the Pro, and he knows how difficult opportunities come in this situation. When you get a chance to win a race, you have to grab it as quickly as you possibly can. And I think this is going to be what's going to happen in the Pros with such a big lineup as well. Every race, every point is going to count, and it's going to be the same here in Pro-Am. If Max makes a mistake, these guys have got to be on his rear wing to gain in that position.
And I think somebody said it the other day, Dan. I think it was Kieran Argent who said, Max makes too many mistakes when being pressured. Pressure him. The thing is, for Kelly, for Monkey, for Kieran, they've all raced against Max. They know what he does. DJ Phil in the pits at the end of lap 11 then. So where will he come out ahead in terms of Stelsloff and Smithy? But for Dean Wysocki, 7.8 the gap to Ukbar, 24 to Shane, 30 to Max. This is going to be really on the cusp. Liam trying to get within the second of KLF once again.
I just want to go on board with Shane, because obviously we're now getting to the point where the rain is still coming down. 2/3 at the minute of this or coming up to the halfway stage of this race. Shane comes into the triple. Look at this. This is what's probably helping the Acoras and Porsches right now.
Yeah.
Especially Dean. He's just tiptoeing his way through there. Ukbar's made a mistake.
Yeah, I was just about to say Ukbar's made a huge mistake because Dean now has 17 seconds. Dean, get it in. He's not. I think he might be running out of a trick here. Liam, oh, down the outside of Kelly. This is a brave move towards McDonald's. Liam might want to back out of this one and attack him down the back straight. He does now. Kelly, a hard man to pass. Could this be a fight we see a lot of this year? Acora versus Porsche. And I know which one I'm rooting for. KLF as a driver, Acora as the car, though. That's the problem.
I'm going to have to back the Porsche. It's going to have to be the Porsche.
Oh, because we didn't see that one coming.
It's my dad and the car I've been most successful in.
Speaking of Bozzy Boy and the Porsche, doesn't Bozzy Boy have a replica of your championship winning Porsche in the background of his bedroom in Lego?
He even told me, like, I'm his idol as well. He looks like trying to buy my McLaren as well.
He's going to bring it to Donington so you can sign it or something, I believe I was told.
Definitely so. Now he's going to the back of my dad, trying to get tips off of him, especially in his old as well.
Well, let's see what Bozzy Boy can do then. As down towards turn 1 they come. Ukbar, Shane Dean still haven't pitted. We're on to lap 13. Max is pulling away from these two. Bozzy Boy's going to look to the outside. Wow, that was late! And it stopped, and it's in! That was impressive, Bozzy.
That was very impressive. I actually genuinely think he wasn't going to stop that then, but he did. He got it, it stopped right on the nose. Now, here's the problem that Dean's going to be having. Max is now in the 39s.
The problem for Max now is, Dan, and this is the big thing, he's got traffic. He's got Shane, he's got traffic. If Shane doesn't pit, if Shane doesn't drop it, Max has got to work to get past here. And this could be where Dean could either capitalise or make the mistake. For me, Dean has to box now. That is the only option for Dean, and he is boxing now. End of lap 13, your race leader is coming into the pits. And let's see what he does as he gets it slowed down enough. That camera was moving very quickly there. I didn't think he'd slowed down enough then.
No, I didn't think he did either. But right now, Shane is under a little bit of pressure here from Max. But
is that Max have a wiggle then?
He did have a wiggle. We've seen, obviously, when they get to McDonald's, it's going to be tight on pit exit. So, Dean, obviously, also, he was very early on the pit limiter as well. Very early. So, I did see him stop for the first line. Then he went again for the second line. So, yes. Dean is really cautious of that pit entry. He's in. How could he go? He's gone. So Max is in the final corner. This is going to be tight, but remember, Dean will have the advantage coming out. And Welshie says in the chat, can't believe I got disconnected. The thing is, though, Welshie, everyone's having issues tonight, and it's going to be a thing that's going to probably carry on.
It's a shame, Welshie, because you had good pace tonight and you looked all right in that Porsche. Dean then coming out the pits and towards turn 1 he comes now. Don't wait for the traffic, Dean. Don't wait for the traffic, Dean. What's Dean done? Oh no!
Probably saved himself getting a penalty, and he's hoping possibly that Shane will hold up Max so he can attack him again. But Dean, you should have got in there and split them, but he didn't. He was being cautious, he was being safe, he did the right thing, but he's just possibly thrown a race win away.
Has he thrown the race win away? Shane now has Max on the rear of him, down towards the triple. This seems to be where Max is really struggling in this race. Look at the different line he takes to Shane, and look at how much he's off the throttle, Dan, compared to Shane. And Dean now right on the back of Max. He sniffs that opportunity once again, and Dean Wysocki here now has a chance to get back in front of Max. Max being held up by Shane and struggling at the triple. This is where Dean has to pounce.
The thing is, though, Shane is now upping his pace. He was in the 41s, 42s. He's now upping his pace, which is allowing Max to up his. He's now at 38.9, and that helped him a little bit to clear Dean, because Dean was down in the 40s. So
Kelly's... Sorry, carry on.
yeah, Kelly has got back ahead of that Bossy Boy, I think you were about to say, but... Max,
Oh! Max is off! He's off, he's had a wiggle! Gets it back on, Dean's nowhere near him though, so did Dean make a mistake a little earlier? Max, all over the place at the minute. Ugbar's in at the end of lap 13, and now for Dean Wysocki, he once again has a great opportunity to pounce on the back of Max Mulder here. Shane leads, he's still got to pit, I believe he's the only driver left to pit, as well as... Stealth Sloth on my book there, sorry, I was just looking, but it's Shane from Max from Dean, your top three.
Shane obviously trying to absorb all this pressure, but as they go through turn one, who gets best out of it? And Max gets a little twitch on exit. The Acura is the most stable through there, but it understeers. The other two managed to pivot and get their cars facing the right way, while Dean understeers out. So he's just struggling to get the nose to turn. Ugbar, on the other hand, has lost out to Monkey Boy, and Stealth still yet to pit. So at the minute, Monkey Boy jumps Ugbar. Dean, on the other hand, is still pressurizing Max.
He is, and this is where Max really seems to be struggling the most at the minute. Look how much Max is off the throttle. He's off the track again. Big wiggle, big snap. Across the gravel once more. Another big wiggle, big snap. Dean tucks underneath. Doesn't need a second invitation. He sticks it in the top bins, and he's back in the lead of this race.
And that's what Dean was waiting for. I think that's why he was being patient. He was waiting for that opportunity. He knows the Acura is more planted than the Audi, and the Audi has made the mistake. Dean, net leader right now.
Very clever driving this from Dean Wysocki at the moment. Shane very slow into that corner. Dean comes through. I tell you what, Dan, Monkey Boy must be waiting for Christmas to come through this field, because he's not carving his way through it.
No, he's not. He's
no. I thought
not
Acura's
driving
meant to cut.
yeah.
I thought Acura's meant to cut the grass. He's in a Porsche.
I don't know what to say about that, to be fair.
Yes, right, there's one for you, eh? Acura cut the grass. Stoff's in the pits at the end of lap 15 then. And Dean Wysocki, net leader.
Monkey Boy's missing that car that much, he thought he was in it.
Yes. Must be. Dean gets it stopped into turn one. Max nearly ploughs into the back of him. And just look. Oh, no, Dean, don't take too much of the puddle. Shane's had a moment. Shane's had a moment.
This is what I'm trying to say. Obviously, Dean understeers, so he goes wide and possibly just goes wide. That's all happens. The other two could spin it. So he's not in a bad place. They all go deep.
Shane's wide. Shane's very wide, Max nearly ploughs into him, and Dean somehow keeps the race lead here, and Dean's going into the triple now, ahead of Max, and this is all important because this is where Max struggles. Kelly currently net third, Bossy Boy net fourth. We don't know where Shane's going to come out in the pits. Oh, no, Dean, Wysocki again!
Avoid the wall, that's what he needs to do. Where's KLF? He's now coming through the triple. Oh, it's so Tetris through there. It's so they have to be so cautious through there.
They have to be so cautious, and how about that Dean Wysocki? Max again. He's just applied enough pressure there for Dean to make that mistake.
And we even did the other night. Remember, Matt, you were in the lobby with us. I put Dean under a bit of pressure so he could learn to soak the pressure, learn to absorb any pressure that comes towards him, and all that hard work possibly just gone out the window.
He's got the pressure now, though, of KLF behind him, but I tell you what, Dean's matching the pace of KLF, so I've got a feeling that Dean is going to pull away a little bit. Max is off. Shane's in the pits at the end of lap 16. Max, he's made a mistake now, and Dean's closer. Liam and Monkey Boy, by the way, lapping in the 1:38s for Max, though. He's getting close. He's being caught by Dean once again. Dean, even with his mistake, did a 46.
The top four, even top six, are even in the same straight now. So...
Liam's pace is impressive.
It is impressive. Is he on that? Is he on the wheel? Is he on the pad? But either way,
he's on the wheel.
Let's hope it doesn't die on him because he's having a great race at the minute. Max, though, once again showing he can make the mistakes.
Is it Stan? I've just noticed. Has it stopped raining?
It has.
It has, you know. It stopped raining. So these boys then, the weather has changed here and the track is going to dry. So is this why we're seeing Bossy Boy's pace? Maybe his pace is getting better every lap that goes by as the track's drying. Right, Dean, you know Max struggles through here. You've just got to make sure you get through it better than he does. And he's through it a bit better this time. Max, though, did lose a couple of tenths.
He did lose a couple of tenths, as did Kelly, and that Bozzy boy. Dean's very good through the triple. He's just very patient. He had that one mistake where he's a little bit eager, and I think that's him being in the lead. So he had that like.
It kind of got the occasion, got to him, didn't it? Of I've got to defend here, and kind of seemed to make it a mistake. There is a dry line appearing. I don't think it's going to be dry enough for the slick tyres because the amount of puddles through the track. You'll know better than anybody else, Dan. You was in a similar scenario.
Max has gone in the wall.
Max is in the wall. Dean's going to lead the race again, and here comes Kelly, and here comes Bozzy. Can you make this top run? Bozzy's past Kelly. It's a Wakasaki 1-2. Oh, the Acoras.
Oh my God, you're not going to hear the end of this. You are not going to hear the end of this, Kelly. Dad, come on, get in between the Acoras.
Monkey Boy's past Max Mulder. Monkey Boy's into P4. He's got the pressure of Max. Dean's only ever won one race in the Wet at Snetterton Season 2 in the McLaren of all cars. He's now back in the Acora, and it's winning in the lead at the minute on lap 18 with his brother, his nephew, and his teammate right behind him.
Oh my God, you just can't make it up as Max goes into the puddle. Oh my God, he nearly hits the back of Monkey Boy. But KLF, once again, in the points where he needs to be. He's going to be on the podium at this stage.
It's a pointsy race for Kelly today, as you said in race 1, and as Tom Ingram said the other weekend. And pointsy is where Kelly needs to do. These two boys in front of him barely scored a point in race 1. Liam scored nothing! Oh, he's round!
He has gone round. Where is Monkey Boy? There he is. And there's Max. Oh, as Kelly stays one side.
Max!
Where is Max gone?
He was all off the track there. Right, Monkey Boy, game on now. Can you hunt down after the two Acoras? 1, 2, Monkey Boy 3. Liam's had a wiggle out the McDonald's chicane, and Dean Wasaki here. Lads, you've got an 8-second gap. Liam does not need to pressure Dean. The track, Dan, is getting quicker. Liam's in the 1 minute 36s.
Yeah, look at the track. There is a dry line appearing. There isn't much spray. So these guys are overheating the tyres in the dry lines, and then they're hitting the puddles. So these guys are starting to crack under this pressure, and Liam is now going to go quicker than Dean. So will team orders come in now?
Lap 19 of lap 23. What happens though in this one? Does Liam stay ahead of Dean? Does Dean say to Liam, let's bring these cars home? The more they fight, the more...
Ugbar's in the wall. Ugbar's in the wall. We've lost Matt on the headset, and that Bozzy boy has just got a little bit closer to Dean. And Monkey Boy, he's had a moment into turn 1, and that Max Mulder also looking very close at the back of KLF. And Max goes right through the puddle. He nearly drops the rear.
Dan, this is so stressful. This is so stressful. Oh, this whole night's been stressful. But what enjoyment though. What a show these boys have put on in tricky conditions. Max really trying to look underneath KLF. You've got to be braver than that to pass this man. A tap on the rear of Kelly. Kelly will not be favoured to that. Oh!
Maybe he had a wiggle. I think Kelly had a wiggle on the exit, obviously with the tapping of Max on the rear. He's just had a little tap, and Max, this is the section he really struggles on.
I thought it was Max. I thought it was Max that do the brake checking. Saudi Arabia, F1, yeah. Are you with me?
I'm with you, yeah. Kelly pretty much straight lines the chicane there. He's right in that puddle as that Bozzy boy once again is within a second of Dean.
Was about to say, tricky situation out front. Bozzy Boy within a second of Dean. Dean leads this race and will want to win it. Bozzy Boy, though, he'll want to win it after what happened race 1. Monkey Boy in the 36s, as is Shane. And the more these two keep squabbling, will Shane get on the back? And you know it's a ice hockey race when there's no rain and the wipers are still on. It wouldn't be Dean without having his wipes on. Bozzy into the 36 dead. 1.1 quicker than Uncle Dean last time around. Lap 20 of 23 though. Damn, Bozzy a bit later on the brakes. What do you do if you're these two? Because the gap to Monkey Boy is just under 8 seconds and these two are squabbling.
They are squabbling. Right in a minute, Kelly is probably just defending for Monkey Boy because there's more points for them. They will gain points. There's Max brave. He literally is going swimming these rounds.
That is an interesting line.
And that has really ruined that. Now, Kelly, can he catch Monkey Boy now?
If Shane keeps, if Max keeps doing that, you know, Shane's not a million miles away from catching the back of him. That puddle is getting no better though, as 0.6 of a second out front. The gap is 8.6 to Monkey Boy, and Bozzy Boy is. There's a lot of boys in this one, isn't there, this season? Bozzy Boy wanting to catch Dean Wasaki.
Monkey Boy, and just to make it even worse, big boy Brazier in the next one as
Yeah,
well.
big boy tomorrow night. Bozzy boy, monkey boy, all the boys.
Yes, boy. Oh, Max
Yes, boy.
has had another moment.
Max has gone again! Where's Shane?
He's at the triple.
Here he comes
He's
into
there.
the triple. Max has struggled at the triple all evening. Can Shane? This, Dan, this really opens this championship up already in race 1 with Max dropping down the standings.
Monkey
The back
boy.
straight is bone dry. What's happened to Liam there?
Not much. He's still there. He's still within touch of.
Oh, I thought he had a wiggle.
So let me just put it in perspective. After the first race and then this race, depending on points, Monkey Boy is looking very good on points at the minute.
Could be your season 2 Pro-Am champ, could be leading the championship here. And I tell you what, if Shane gets past Max, that's more points for Shane as well, as he was in the top lot first race. And it's a shame this wasn't dry, because I wanted to see this man's pace tonight in the dry and see how he was going to get on.
36.3s. He's the fastest man on track.
Yeah, last time round it was. Dean in the 36.5s last lap. Hello, Dean Wasocki.
Yeah, these boys are flying. Kelly with a 41 and Max 49. What does Shane do? 37.3. So Dean fastest that last lap. Ukbar is currently in the 42s. He's struggling, and even DJ Phil a 37.9 from him from the previous lap.
Yeah, not too shabby from DJ Phil. Now, have these boys decided? Bozzy! Ease, breathe, Boz, breathe. You don't need to get around it that quick, buddy. Just nice and easy. Do you think the Wakasaki racing team have said, right, boys, bring it home, multi-21?
I don't know. If Liam gets an opportunity, I think he'll send it. He does
Liam's
not
a
like
bit of a
losing to his
talent.
uncle.
Liam's a bit of a talent. He'd do the multi-21 situation,
like,
wouldn't he?
even though it's great having these two as teammates, they're going to be winding each other up in the pie.
There's been so much bickering in pre-season, hasn't there, between these two?
Yeah, definitely so. And Dean will be like, I beat you, Bozzy, ha ha ha. And it's going to be the opposite way around if Liam beats Dean. So I think that's a good thing, because it boosts their driving to make them want to beat one another. But also it could cause a situation of Turkey.
Yes.
2010,
Yes.
I want to say. Red Bull.
2010, 2011, yeah.
I think it was 2010. I think 2011 was the multi-21
Oi.
one.
Look at the pace from the Acoras there. 36.5 Dean, 36.3 Bozzy. They've gapped Monkey Boy to 10.3 seconds. Monkey Boy 36.9. The track is getting quicker, but them Acoras, Dan, they seem the best. I'm going to say it. I think without Liam's wheel issues, I think Liam could have won both races.
Yeah, he could have done, but obviously with the wheel problems coming into effect, and these two were like. These two were looking at two other cars this season. They weren't even looking at the Acura.
What was it? Dean wanted the BMW,
and
the
McLaren.
M6, and the McLaren. And they was bickering and arguing. Oh, I don't want to go in the McLaren. Oh, I don't want to go in the BMW. They then both decided on the Acura at nearly the last moment as Bozzy goes a little wide again there, and they've stuck with the Acura. And I tell you what, they've looked fantastic tonight. They really have. And bearing in mind, Dan, we looked at Bozzy's pace last night, 6 laps in an hour test session. He didn't look great.
Shane's had a moment. Speaking of fastest laps, Max has gone fastest, 35.2. This is important now, because these guys will be doing the fastest laps on the last lap at its driest. Dean has actually extended his gap now to Liam, so this might be a big lap time from him. No, not quite, but it's going to be a decent one.
Look, hold station now, lads. You've got 10 seconds. Hold station. Say you're going to finish 1-2. Then you can do this last lap with 9 seconds ahead of Monkey Boy. As Bozzy Boy, look, is he pushing too hard to get his race win? He's making a mistake there that if he spins around and Monkey Boy gets past him, he's through a second place away. Hold it at a 1-2. Hold it at a 1-2.
Oh, no.
No!
Oh, no. The wheel has died. The wheel has died on Liam. No. So Dean's been gifted a win here, and Monkey Boy's been given seconds. Kelly's going to be on the podium at this rate. As Max comes towards like 34.9. Max is flying now. But Bozzy Boy's wheel is dead. He needs to sort this out, because whatever that wheel was doing...
Dan, what happened at Sakito last season? He led both races. What happened? His wheel, both times disconnected. Yeah. Leading tonight, his wheel disconnects. Second place tonight, his wheel disconnects. He will score 10th place points. It's the last lap. That's a given.
Yeah, he will score at least 10th place. But Liam, once again, these issues, he needs to get on top of it. Whatever's causing it to malfunction, whatever's causing it to die, He needs to get it sorted and looked at, but right now he's done a fantastic drive nonetheless, but he has helped his teammate massively tonight.
Massively. And Dean Wysocki, I tell you what, he tests a lot, Dan, and we've been critical of Dean in the past at times about the way he's gone about his business and the way he's gone about things. Who's that? That was Smithy round in the background. We've been critical of Dean about the way he's gone about things, but I tell you what, he's about to cross the line, Dan, and be a race winner. A second-time race winner. Here he comes, then. In the final corner, down the straight, Dean Wysocki, race winner for race 2 here at Oscherslaben. What a job from him, a shame for his teammate. Could have been a 1-2 for the team. Monkey Boy, though, this man, fantastic drive for a P2. What a start to his season, and what a start for his teammate. They are tied on points at the minute, bar fastest lap. Who's going to come away with a P3 for KLF 900? And for Max Mulder, you can't give him an opportunity, but I tell you what, race 2, hello. He's made a few too many mistakes. It's going to be a P4 for Max. In fact, I tell you what here, Dan, has Liam actually been given a P8 because of the fact he's not disconnected? If he stays in this session and Smithy and Stelzloff cross the line, because of their laps down, Liam will actually finish P8.
Well, you want to look at the chat at the minute, because Bozzy's made a statement that I think he's going to regret. But either way, the two Ginettas here, the Ukbar's been caught by DJ Phil here.
He has been caught by DJ Phil. We'll speak with Bozzy after the race, I'm sure. Ukbar then, coming into the final couple of corners. Shane's got P5 then, because of that. P6 is going to go the way, hopefully, of Ukbar into this final couple of corners. There's no mistakes from him.
Oh, Ukbar!
Oh, Bozzy, why have you just done that? You could have had P8. Either way, P6 for Ukbar, P7 for DJ Phil. Good result for him in the end. P9 for Stelzloff. And P8 for Stelzloff. And P9 for Smithy. Dan, fastest lap of the race?
Max Mulder.
Max Mulder then. Get the top 3 in for...
It's just Dean. We should just have Dean, who needs to join the party, as Kelly and Monkey Boy have already got an invite to the chat, so they should be able to just jump straight in. But what a race. Dean has managed to get another race win to his name, and in wet conditions. Just shows what he can do in the wet. But Max made too many mistakes once again. He made too many mistakes, and that just allowed Dean, Monkey Boy, and KLF to do exactly what they needed to do. And like Kelly said, they score points. Monkey Boy score points. They look very strong for this season now.
They do indeed. The championship standings then are as follows, and it's Max Mulder who leads the championship standings, 6 points clear of KLF and Monkey Boy, who are tied on 35 points each. Dean Wysocki probably can't believe his luck, sitting P4 on 30 points at the moment. Shane P5 on 22, Ukbar on 20 points in P6. Smithy's on 17 with Stelzloff 18 ahead of DJ Phil on 15, Welshie on 13. Lucas Roth on 7 and Bozzy Boy scored 6 at the end. Obviously no Argent Rabbit, Joe Bryn, or Leon Fernie tonight. We hope to see them all back next week. Bryn obviously with the same problems I've been having. Rabbit Joe at moving to university this week, and Argent away on holiday. Not sure about Leon Fernie. Audio Sport and 2 Old Pros lead the Constructors' Championship by 29 points from the SRL race team. Wakasaki Racing are in P3, 1 point ahead of Terminal Velocity Racing. We've got MC Motorsport in 5th with the Super Crash Pro 6th. SFA Acora down in 7th, and Simplay Racing bringing up the rear. And breathe. And I do believe Kelly's in the party with us.
Yep, I'm here.
He is. Well, talk us through that one, Kelly, because not outright pace, but the result.
Yeah, I don't know about the other guys. I'm sure they'll agree with me. That was much, much more slippy than race 1. The puddles were much worse, especially through the long, fast left-hander, which would be, what, turn 4, 5? Yeah, the triple. That was absolutely sodden, and I had a couple of moments there. So, yeah, it would just seem to be much, much wetter, much slippier.
Nonetheless, you come away with the P3 at the podium. You're tied with your teammate in the points. You're not far behind Max. You must have had a bit of a smile on your face when you saw Max make the mistake into the wall.
Yeah, I had a smile on my face when I saw Max's incident, and I must admit I had a smile when I saw Liam Liam's car stood still on the grid. Yeah, it was. There was a bit of luck there, Matt. Do you know what I mean? That was a bit of a gift, to be fair.
Pointsy race day for you so far, but Pointsy is what wins the championship.
Absolutely, and that puts us out front in the constructors, and it could have been a slightly better start, but not much better. So I'm happy with that. I'll take that.
We travel to Circuit of the Americas next week. We go stateside. Conditions looking absolutely beautiful in Texas at the moment. What can you do around there in the Porsche?
I'm not too confident on that one, Matt. I've never had a lot of luck round COTA, so we'll take what we can get. And again, just scoring big points is what I want to continue doing throughout the season.
Sort of apex sprint to mind at COTA.
Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah, still, yeah, and an angry Mathew as well. But yeah, that's all behind us now. So hopefully
that's a story for next week.
Absolutely, that'll be a story for tomorrow night, mate. Don't you worry about that.
Well done on the night tonight, Kelly. It's been a great night for yourself. Congratulations. We're joined by Monkey Boy, and what car finished in front of you?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I was nowhere near it, so I couldn't tell you.
Either way, mate, a P2 for yourself tonight. Well, I was saying to Dan about it can't be Christmas for you yet because you wasn't carving your way through the field. But towards the end of that race, everybody started to fall at the wayside and P2.
Yeah, I picked up a bit of damage at the start. I got caught up in turn one, picked up a bit of damage, so I was struggling. Obviously jumped in the pits and it sorted itself out. And then, yeah, I was like, where's everybody gone? They're sort of dropping off here, there and everywhere. And then, obviously, massive luck with Liam, unfortunate for him. Stopping, I was like, wow, okay. But, yeah, I was nowhere in that one. I made a few changes, but they obviously didn't work because, like Kelly said, it was a lot slippier and greasier.
Did that surprise you a little bit with the weather being less rain? Did that surprise you with the greasiness of the conditions?
Yes, because, like I say, I changed it to sort of counteract that. And it seemed to go the other way for me, but yeah, I'm more than happy with the night's work after my dreadful start in qualifying and first race.
Tied with your teammate in points, 6 behind Max, but like leading the constructors, as Kelly said. Pointsy for yourself as well.
Yeah, as we know in real life, you don't have to win every race for the title, so podium's the target. Keep doing that. We'll be there or thereabouts, I think.
Well done on tonight. COTA next week. What can you do around there?
Not get disqualified to start. But yeah, I had good memories there when I was in Pro-Am last. So
yes,
podium's a target at least.
Well, we wish you the best luck for COTA next week.
Thank you.
And I think a man that gave me and Dan a few heart attacks during that race. Second race win, Dean, at Simplay Motorsport, and that was not an easy one.
Go for it. What team?
What team? Talk us through that one, Dean. You clearly saw that Max was struggling at the triple and the chicane, and that's where you capitalised to get alongside him originally and the second time round.
Well, so far, Dean, so far, your only 2 race wins have been in very stable cars in the wet conditions. At that rate, you're just hoping for very stable cars for everyone to run and it to be wet all the time.
What was you thinking at the end, Dean, with Liam gaining on you towards the end of that race? Did the team say that, stay as 1-2, or was you allowed to race each other and fight? Fair enough. How was Liam? Just give us an insight into Liam at the end there, where his wheel, I assume his wheel cut out again. Going into COTA next week, I think if I remember rightly, you've not gone so well at COTA, but in a different car this time. What can you do? Well, congratulations on your race win tonight, on your second race win, and another one for the Acura. Dan, driver of the day. I'm not near my PC, so I'm not going to put a driver of the day vote out to the poll, but driver of the day for yourself, Dan.
I think everyone should. Well, firstly, I can't say that Kelly can get driver of the day, nor get my vote for anything, because he has specifically reminded me multiple times not to give him anything, so that he does not get cursed by me. Yes, you did.
Oh, yeah, no. After the race is fine, just not before. You praise me up after.
Anyway, I'm good. Do you know what? I am going to give it to an Audio Sport driver, but I'm going to give it to Monkey Boy. A very consistent drive tonight. He's been there when he needed to be. Dean, if he was in there in race 1, a little bit better, possibly could have gone to his way. But Max, too many mistakes in race 2. So I think tonight, Monkey Boy gets my driver of the day.
I'm going to go with Monkey Boy as well. A dismal qualifying, but a great start to the and with the drive-through as well. Great end to his night. But honourable mentions to KLF, Dean Wasocki. Liam clearly had pace as well as Max. Shane didn't do too bad a job. Neither did Welshie in race 1. Shame for the disconnection. Race 2.
Before you get into the tomorrow night, I think we should hand it over to Kelly, because obviously tomorrow night is going to be an interesting.
I was just about to ask your thoughts on Kota, but sure, Kelly, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, 8 p.m, be there. It's the return of myself in the commentary box. I'm joined with the Smith Star, the Pro-Am Rainmeister, although he wasn't all that tonight. But he's joining me in the commentary box. Season 7 is going to be the best ever. Multiple champions up against each other. Daniel and Matt will be having little handbags out in the car park, no doubt. Join us. It's going to be awesome. 8 o'clock, don't miss it.
I've already polished the handbag up. It's sat on the sofa, ready to throw it. It's ready to throw at the monitor when Dan hits me, because it's inevitable.
I think you've got a Gucci one and Dan's got a Jimmy Choo.
All I'm going to say is Donington Park next season could be an interesting meet and greet.
It could be an interesting drink.
I've only just figured out that I'm only going to Thruxton next season. But anyway, I've got one car on my sights, and that's going to be a Lamborghini.
I will hunt you down, Daniel Davis. Dan, Kota next week. Just talk us what you're looking forward to for that one.
Circuit of the Americas in Texas. It's a good thing it's not in Florida at the minute, because it would have been an interesting race for sure. Would have reminded me of last season. But Kota is a circuit that most people tend to hate, but it brings out many different aspects of a car, from downforce to top speed to even chassis. Everything is there at Kota. I know that Ugbar will be very, very strong there.
Yes.
It seems to be a circuit, any American circuit, Ugbar seems to be the man to beat. So he's going to be the one everyone's going to be chasing for. But can Max and can the Audio Sport lads go for that win as well? The other question is, Dean, he's got a win under his belt. Can he keep the momentum going? And will Liam get his wheel fixed? Who knows? But I think it's going to be an exciting one, man.
It is going to be an exciting one. Kota next week, 8 p.m. BST. Pro-Am, myself and Dan Davis will be bringing you the action live from Texas in that one. Dean and Max, your race winners at the minute, but Kelly, Shane, Monkey Boy, Argent back. Maybe Rabbit Joe as well. A lot of people to see what can happen tomorrow night. Richie, Overtaker, Fury, Gary 131 on Orthodubs have all coming for that championship once again. I've got to try and defend it. Well, all right, Jamie. I've got to try and defend it. There's about 10 guys in Pro tomorrow night that are all coming for my championship. I've got a target on my back. And let's see what we can do around Oscherslaben tomorrow night. Oscherslaben, sorry, as I'm told it's pronounced. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. BST. Kelly Davis and Smithy, the GOAT in the commentary box. We'll see you next week. What a night it's been. Dean and Max taking the early race wins in this season. From all of us here at Simplay Motorsport, good night.